The 3A football playoffs are here.
DeVries with time to the end zone. McIntosh again. Nick McIntosh, touchdown Wolverines. Ryan Dennis has his punt blocked. Wolverines are on it. They're going to get this punt at the 6-yard line. 4th and 7. Patterson in the shotgun. Receiver to either side. Hammond with him in the backfield. Wolverines showing pressure again. They bring the house. Pass is incomplete. Wolverines hold. A turnover on down. Fake it to Gatton behind DeVries. Now bootleg out to the right side. Looking back across the field as a man in the end zone. Is it caught? It is. Touchdown Riverton. That's Ty Sheets.
Your 3A East champion Riverton Wolverines battle the Evanston Red Devils in 1 hour. From Wolverine Field, here are Scott Fuller and Jared Anderson.
And a very good playoff Friday evening to you. Welcome to a chilly Wolverine Field. I'm Jared Anderson alongside Scott Fuller. We've been at it all season long, and this is what you play for, an opportunity to go to the playoffs. Riverton won the 3A East Conference and will host the first of possibly 2 playoff games tonight at Wolverine Field. The Evanston Red Devils are the opponent, a team Riverton lost to in September, and some redemption on the mind for the Wolverines after that tough loss against an Evanston team, but also this team has a good feeling about themselves, and they may be an underdog when it comes to a 3A state championship, but I think Coach Lenhart has them believing that they have a shot to get to Laramie.
Well, Jared, and good evening to you and everybody listening on Jack FM and on the various streams tonight. The Evanston game was so long ago in the season, even though it was only 4 or 5 weeks ago. It seems like after Riverton lost to Evanston in the final minute of that game, all we've heard about from common opponents and people around the state who watch 3A football is how improved and how on the rise Evanston is. And similarly, you can't deny that the Riverton Wolverines, following the Evanston game, turned the corner a little bit as well. They started racking up conference wins, obviously going on to win the 3A East, and here we are tonight. Regardless of where this game is being played, could be here, could be in Evanston, happens to be here with the Wolverines securing a 1 seed after one of the program's biggest upsets, I think, in recent memory over the Buffalo Bison here a couple of weeks ago. This game could be at either field, and just like going into the Evanston game in the regular season, I think the consensus prediction here is pick'em. I think it's about 50-50, regardless of who's home, regardless of common opponent scores, regardless of winning streaks or losing streaks late in the season. Both of these teams, I think that first game achieved a mutual respect for each other and maybe even a little bit of chippiness. We'll see how the game goes, but an in-season sort of single-season rivalry, I think you could say, between Evanston and Riverton because of how the game went in Evanston coming down to the very last minute of the fourth quarter. And here, I'm sure Evanston has opinions about where this game should be played here tonight. So all indications are this should be a great game from quarter 1 to the last minute of the game.
That game back on September 8th went to Evanston 34-27. Dramatically different teams, though. Riverton has improved a lot through the last few games, especially as they got into conference play, obviously winning the Eastern Conference after a tough schedule to start the year. But I watched a lot of Evanston's most recent game against Green River, and I'd argue that this Evanston team has improved dramatically as well. Overall, this is just the 15th meeting between these two teams. They're 7-7 overall, so all tied up in the series history. Some would argue, though, they're 7-6.5, and I flash back to John Gabrielson's little piece he did when we went to Evanston, talking about in 1988, this team played half a game in a 3-way tiebreak scenario to go to the playoffs, so Riverton lost that. It still counts as a loss on the scoreboard, unfortunately, for Riverton, but a lot of folks would say we only lost a half a game there. Evanston's won 3 in a row against Riverton. Got to go back to 2020 to find the last time that the Wolverines have defeated the Red Devils. Winner of this one moves on to the semifinals next week. That'll be against the winner of Cody and Douglas. That game kicks off at 6 o'clock tonight from Cody High School. We'll bring you updates on that as well as some of the other playoff games throughout this broadcast. Patrick Schmidt from Wyoming-football.com caught up with Wyatt Barijka earlier this week, part of the County 10 Sports podcast, and we're going to play you some of that back because I think Patrick had a lot of great things to say about this matchup in the 3A playoffs. But Patrick said it really, really well at Wyoming-football.com that these two teams, Evanston and Riverton, are both in very similar situations. They've struggled the last few years. It's been a long time since they've found any kind of success, and they are likable sort of Cinderella stories. Both have a brand new coach, and I think that whomever wins this ball game going to have some fans across the state next week.
Yeah, regardless of which team wins, to play probably Cody. We'll see. As Jared mentioned, we'll keep an eye on the scoreboard for other 3A action. But the only Wyoming football fans who are not going to be cheering for either Riverton or Evanston next week if they do play Cody are Bronx fans. It would be convenient for a lot of people to have the 2 seed knocked off out of the bracket, and we're kind of hoping for the same thing across the valley there too in Star Valley. But that's a lot to hope for, and we get to speculate about that as fans. And it's still a football game, in front of you. You still have to play it, still have to win it. I know you attended practice here throughout the week, Jared. And there was a little bit of a mention from the coaching staff of Cody. First of all, take care of Evanston, but don't think for a second that you can't play with the Cody Bronx when it comes to that.
And preface that by saying Coach Lenhart and the coaching staff said several times, you make mistakes, you're going to lose to Evanston. Evanston is way too talented of a team to make mistakes against. But to kind of get them fired up and in the right mindset, they did say things like, next week, Cody is beatable. We're a different team. We have an opportunity to go to Laramie should we win this first game. So trying to keep the kids focused on the first game at hand, I think, but then the prize, of course, is taking on likely Cody. We'll see if Douglas could pull an upset tonight, but likely Cody in the second round. And maybe an opportunity, especially this Riverton team would host that semifinal game. So it would take a lot to win these first couple of potential playoff games. But the matter at hand here first is the Evanston Red Devils coming up in about 53 minutes. It's been a long time for both of these teams since they've won a playoff game. Evanston has 3 state championships in their school's history. Their most recent in 1997. They've also had championships in 1951 and 1985. But you got to go back to 2007 to find their last playoff win. They lost the 4A championship to Cheyenne East that year. Evanston has lost 8 consecutive playoff games. Riverton has state championships, of course, the dominant 90s, 1994, 97, 98, and 99. Riverton's last playoff appearance was 2020 in a loss against Jackson. Riverton's last playoff win was 2014 and a win against Powell. Riverton has lost 4 consecutive playoff games, so not quite the losing postseason stretch Evanston has, but neither of these teams has had a lot of postseason success of late, and they'd like to change that today.
Somebody is going to turn a corner in their program tonight, it feels like. Whoever gets this first postseason win to break those aforementioned postseason losing streaks is going to go a long way toward what they want to accomplish. Both of these coaches, both of these programs are headed by first year with the program coaches. We've talked all season about Coach Lenhart, and I think the accomplishments of the conference wins and that game against Buffalo, I think Wolverine fans here are going to remember for a long, long time as a potential turning point. But my expectations are tempered here tonight. We went into that first Evanston game in that long drive down there, and I remember telling you that I expect Riverton to win by 14, 17, maybe even more points. That obviously did not happen, and that was an unproven expectation by myself at that point because the Wolverines hadn't won a game. But we saw even in the losses what they were capable of, and I think Riverton is still trying to put that myself in the losses what they were capable of. I'm not sure how that happened. Did you hear me in your head? More so than usual.
I'm used to hearing voices in my head, but I heard you twice there.
So, regardless, I'm very distracting to myself, I guess. Regardless, when that fourth quarter and the very last play of the game on kind of a miscommunication on the snap in that last Evanston game did not go the Riverton Wolverines' way, it was I think it was disappointing, because it felt to me walking out of there like that is one that got away. That's one that the Wolverines could have won. But they're still looking for the ceiling. They've yet to put together, I think, the ideal perfect game. We saw close to that against Buffalo to get the upset win here a couple of weeks ago. But then against Warland last week, we saw some silly mistakes, some mental errors, especially in the first half, just didn't seem to be clicking. So how good are these Riverton Wolverines when they can put everything together and minimize those penalties and minimize those mistakes?
This is the Porter's Tailgate Show, thanks to Porter's Supply Company at Sunset and Federal in Riverton. As we count you down to kickoff, we've got a packed pregame show coming up over the next 50 minutes, including a conversation that County 10 Sports Director Wyatt Barijka had with Patrick Schmidt from Wyoming-football.com. Give us some thoughts from an outside perspective on this matchup and Wyoming high school football as a whole as we go into the playoffs. We're also going to be joined by a couple of Wolverines seniors. Talon Toman and Derek DeVries will join the Porter's Tailgate Show. Conversation with the head coach Mark Lenhart is on the way, and John Gabrielson, a longtime Riverton Wolverine broadcaster, will be standing by with some updates on scores across playoff football. So lots to get to here on the Porter's Tailgate Show, and it starts with a conversation with Patrick Schmidt from Wyoming-football.com when we come back. You are listening to Wolverine Playoff Football on 105.1 Jack FM and on County 10's YouTube channel.
Mountain View Supply, your local experts in fire and water. We've got everything you need for new installs to accessories, and don't forget our great selection of stoves, grills, and spas. We've been serving Wyoming for over 40 years, so you know you can trust us for quality products and expert service. Visit portersmbs.com or stop by our Riverton or Casper locations today. Porter's Mountain View Supply, located on 750 East Sunset Drive in Riverton.
The Tyler Watson State Farm Agency is a proud supporter of Riverton High School Wolverine athletics. We understand the importance of community, and we're excited to be a part of it. As your neighbor, we're here to help you with all your insurance needs. We offer auto, homeowners, renters, business, and life insurance. So stop in and say hi, or give us a call today. The Tyler Watson State Farm Agency will be here for you.
Friday. How about Friday?
Friday. All right. The weekend starts here.
It's a Friday tradition. Wolverine football is on the air. Here are Wolverine analyst Scott Fuller and the voice of the Wolverines, Jared Anderson.
Back on the Porter's Tailgate Show as we count you down to kickoff from a chilly Wolverine field. Riverton and Evanston coming up in less than an hour. Thanks to Porter's Supply Company, Porter's Mountain View Supply at the corner of Sunset and Federal in Riverton, making our Tailgate Show possible. Earlier this week, County 10 Sports Director Wyatt Barijka caught up with Patrick Schmidt from Wyoming-football.com. The entire conversation was recorded for the County 10 Sports Podcast, but edited it a little bit and got Patrick's thoughts on tonight's Riverton-Evanston matchup, some of the other Fremont County games of interest going on this evening, and his thoughts on the 3A playoffs. So without further ado, let's kick you over to County 10 Sports Director Wyatt Barijka with Patrick Schmidt.
Well, Patrick, you know, the first time we talked was in the preseason. It was week 0, and now we are here, the quarterfinals. I wanted to get, we can go more local before, after this, but what were some maybe the surprises of the regular season from the state of Wyoming? I had a couple in mind, but I was curious to see what your thoughts were first.
I mean, I feel like I have to start with Riverton. They had such a great regular season, great run to the playoffs, run through the East Conference. Was expecting that to happen maybe in 2 or 3 years, but the fact that it happened right out of the gate for Coach Lenhart and his crew was pretty cool to see. I also think that there were some surprises in like 9-man. I think Lingle being the lone undefeated remaining team is something that I don't think anyone saw coming except for maybe the people in Lingle. So I think that that's a pretty surprising result, but I think what we have seen so far from the other classes hasn't been too out of line with what the preseason expectations were. I think maybe the only other big surprise, the one that really sticks out, is the resurgence of Campbell County and having the Camels be back in the discussion, and they're hosting a playoff game, which is a huge step for them in that program and rebuilding what they have.
I was going to point out Campbell County, so I'm glad you were able to point them out because, again, Thunder Basin having that high school built, and then it kind of felt like everybody from Campbell County went over there. But, those two teams actually are meeting up in the first round. Kind of how coincidental was that Campbell County is hosting Thunder Basin in the first round?
I mean, it's just so weird that it worked out the way it did to have those two Gillette teams playing in the first round, and I think it's awesome. Honestly, I think it's great for that community to be able to have a game that everyone's going to have a rooting interest in. I think that's really cool to be able to have that, and the fact that the Camels have been able to kind of bring that program back. And I know that's been years in the making ever since Thunder Basin came online. And the fact that they're both kind of a part of things and they both have winning records entering the playoffs is, I think, sort of what people envisioned when Gillette went to two high schools, was that was going to be the possibility year in and year out, was we're going to have two good teams out of Gillette instead of one. And I don't know. I think it's really cool to see that happening finally for the Camels after years of kind of struggling to make that happen.
Yeah, it's good to see them back more in that contention mode. But Patrick, what's kind of going from statewide to Fremont County-wide, besides Riverton, of course, that kind of, like I said, that came out of nowhere, and I think we all had a consensus Riverton might be a playoff team, but not a Eastern Conference champion. But maybe what were some other things in Fremont County that you were maybe kind of either surprised about or kind of maybe had an expectation and kind of fell down?
Right. Well, I think, on the negative side, not only get too negative, but I really thought we were going to see a season from St. Stephen's. And that's kind of something looking back is one of the kind of the sad things about this season is that St. Stephen's wasn't able to field that team and to be able to play at that level. I know I was, kind of sad in week one when they were just kind of not there, and then it just never happened for them. So hopefully they can come back, and it sounds like they're going to be maybe not at the varsity level, but I'm just hopeful that they can come back, be able to make some things happen. And then I think kind of going into this season, I think Lander knew it was going to be a little bit of a challenge this year to be able to maintain their success. But I don't know that we foresaw what actually happened in Lander this year. But I'm also very hopeful that they're going to be a very short-term kind of playoff absence, and I think they'll be back in no time. But I think when you look at Fremont County, the team that really sticks out, aside from Riverton, as far as being really successful and everyone saw it coming, was Wind River, because they've been able to put together a real good string of successful games and are definitely one of the favorites in the 9-man playoffs. And I think that's a testament to what they've been able to do with that senior class they've got, and just kind of a big question mark entering the year about who was going to be, those emerging teams, and Wind River was one of those. And then, and I think that they're going to be really, really scary on that side of the playoff bracket, 9-man. And then in 6-man, it's fun to watch Du Bois. I know, Coach Tremblay's on his final season as head coach in Du Bois, and Wyatt Tremblay's on his senior season. So I know that there's a lot of internal motivation in Du Bois right now to be able to do some big things in the postseason. And really curious to see how that plays out in the first round on Friday.
It feels like the west side, and I'm going to point out Star Valley and Powell in particular, they kind of have the tougher road to get to the state championship. And I say tougher road because Star Valley and Powell might be in that second round. Do you kind of see that as a similar case?
Yeah, I think we've seen all year that it's probably Cody, Star Valley, and Powell who were 1, 2, 3 in the state, but they were also ended up being 1, 2, 3 in the West. And I think for Star Valley and Powell, I mean, Cody as the number 2 seed kind of ended up in a really fortunate position, because they don't have to see Star Valley or Powell before the championship if it goes that far. And so Star Valley and Powell potentially meeting in the semifinals as a 1 versus 3 out of the West is a really intriguing matchup just because they played down to the wire when they met in the regular season. I think it ended 24-22. So that's going to be like a really, really interesting matchup if it comes to fruition. Of course, the problem in 3A is that every single team is good enough to be able to make a run. And we've seen that before where, particularly, we kind of expect Cody and Star Valley to be right there. But they haven't always found success. And that semifinal round in 3A has been a doozy for upsets. So I think, I want to project and I want to be able to look ahead and I want to be able to say Star Valley, Powell, Cody. But at the same time, boy, that semifinal round is not treated teams kind.
I agree there. And coming from Cody, I can attest to that with Cody and Star Valley meeting up a few times in the semifinals. But, I was reading your prediction post today, and you kind of pointed out maybe Cinderellas that might develop in the 3A ranks, and you looked at the Evanston-Riverton matchup in particular. Why those two teams in particular you really pointed out in that particular post that you could always check out at wyoming-football.com?
That one really stuck out to me because there's 3 teams in the 3A bracket with overall losing records, and 2 of them are playing in the first round against each other with Riverton and Evanston. And I like that game in part because the first game that they played ended up being a 7-point game, and it was a good game. And I think both teams are better than they were a month ago. And not every team is going to be able to say that, but I think these 2 teams are significantly better than they were when they played a month ago. And I think Riverton in particular, Riverton probably has more momentum and more positive vibes and more just good things going on mentally. If I were a player right now, I'd be so excited to be on the Riverton sideline or in the Riverton lineup. It's just because there's so many good things happening right now, and keeping that momentum going. That might be enough to get them through that first round. Being able to play at home, being able to carry that momentum of winning 4 out of 5, being the number 1 seed. Like, those are things that haven't happened in a while. And, those are things that are confidence boosters, confidence builders. And like I say, we expected to maybe see that 2 or 3 years down the road. And the fact that it's happening now is pretty amazing and a testament, I think, to the coaches, but also to the players for not letting an 0-4 start, deter them from the goals that they had.
Yeah, probably one of the most difficult opening schedules, in my opinion. They play all 4 teams that are in the postseason, including one of those teams in Evanston, who also is finally getting into the postseason for the first time in a while. And, kind of talk a little bit about them in particular and kind of the point that they've gotten, especially, last year they were in really close games, finished 2-7. And, this team, it felt like they were confident to make the postseason, and they kind of spoke up to what they thought was going to happen.
Evanston was, from the end of last season right up until kickoff in August, like, this was a team you looked at and said, hey, this is a team that really had a lot of potential. And I kept figuring, that they would probably fill that number 4 spot. I was kind of between them and Jackson, but I looked at Evanston and that roster, big senior roster, and they didn't lose many seniors from last year. I was like, this is a team that give them a little momentum and they could be dangerous. But at the same time, they also didn't stack up with Cody or Star Valley or Powell on paper. And we saw that play out during the season, that they weren't quite up to that level. just quite yet. But they were able to do some good things with the guys they were able to bring back, and I think that there's enough talent there and enough ability there that no one gets to overlook them, and that hasn't always been the case the last few years. You've been able to kind of look at Evanston on your schedule and say, "Oh, we can get that one." Not anymore, and I think that's I personally, I put Evanston number 4 on my ballot this week for the 3A rankings. I think that they're a really solid outfit, and I think that they've got good momentum, just like Riverton does. They haven't won quite as many games in a row, and they've been struggled against Star Valley and Powell and Cody, but they've also not been blown out either. They're really making those games tough victories for their opponents, and I think they're going to build some confidence from that too. And they're not many teams have been able to hang with Star Valley, and they did, and it's going to be yet another reason why I'm really looking forward to this Riverton Evanston game is the Evanston group on that other sideline, and with a first year coach as well, and Steve Moore, and being able to build that program back up from some struggle.
Yeah, interesting matchup. Again, Jared Anderson, Scott Fuller on the call. So, Patrick, again, big thanks again for taking some time, and we'll be talking to you soon.
All right. Hey, thanks again for having me be a part of things.
All right, my thanks again to Patrick Schmidt and Wyatt Barijka for that conversation. Wyoming-football.com is the website. Man, you can go deep down some rabbit holes on that website. A lot of Wyoming football history, and I thought Patrick had really good thoughts about this Evanston-Riverton matchup and how likable these two teams are with turnaround seasons under brand-new coaches. Coming up on the Porter's Tailgate show in just a couple of minutes, we caught up with the defensive point leader for this Riverton Wolverine team, Talon Toman. My conversation with Talon coming up as we count you down to kickoff. Quarterfinal football is on the way here on 105.1 Jack FM and County 10's YouTube channel.
Your home improvement project's a breeze with Sutherland's, your home improvement experts. Always the right products at the right price for every project, every day. You can shop and pay online at Sutherlands.com, and we'll get it ready for easy in-store pickup. With the tools and the know-how, you can count on Sutherland's for any job. With over 30,000 items in stock, make your first stop at Sutherland's Home Improvement in Casper and Riverton.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws? Because in real life, you don't get a second chance.
The radio home of your 3A East champion Wolverines is 105.1 Jack FM.
Riverton and Evanston kick off the 3A playoffs from Wolverine Field coming up here shortly. This is the Porter's Tailgate Show. Jared Anderson, Scott Fuller with you from Wolverine Field. Earlier this week after practice, had the opportunity to catch up with Talon Toman, the defensive point leader for this Wolverine team, one of the senior captains. Here's my conversation with Talon Toman.
Talon, first of all, how's practice been this week for you?
It's been pretty good. We're doing high intensity, getting through the drills. We're not just going through the motions. We're getting pretty physical and ready to be Evanston on Friday.
Watching this team the last few years and then coming up to practices, the first time I've been around it, full disclosure, but it sure looks like things are more intense this year. There's a demand for perfection. Is that the sense you get too?
Yeah, perfection every play and high intensity. I mean, we can't be jogging around. We can't be loafing. We have to keep high intensity so we can beat these teams in these playoffs.
You've got quite the wrestling background. How does that translate to the football field?
That's a lot easier tackling. It's a lot easier to track the hip and get low and run through guys.
Are you saying football practice is easy compared to wrestling practice?
Well, they're pretty comparable.
Fair enough. Defensive leader on this team coming into the season. Did you know that was going to be something that you had to do, that leadership role?
No, I didn't start the first couple games, so I didn't think I would be able to play this year. But thankfully, Coach Linhart and gave me a chance and gave me an opportunity, and I just busted my tail off. And I don't care about the stats; I care about getting tackles and helping my team out on defense.
How do you improve week to week? I am flashing back to those first few games and then seeing you the last few weeks. How has that improvement gone?
It's gone good. Coach Yates has been really helping me on getting low and running through guys and tackling, and he's been a huge help.
What do you remember about the Evanston game the first time around, and what's going to be different Friday night?
From that game, we kind of got soft a little bit, but this time for sure we're going to be a lot more physical and go hit him in the mouth.
Awesome. I asked Derek the same question, but I'll ask you too. Weather's going to be a lot chillier this time around. Does that impact the game on the field? I know I'll be up there freezing trying to call the game, but does that impact anything for you?
No, I think adrenaline's going to be high, so I don't think they'll cold affect us at all.
And then final question, just this senior class, you've had a special group, a lot of talented kids. What's this class meant to you?
Man, this class has meant everything to me, growing up with them, like Derek said, and finally get out here. We grew up not winning very many games, and now we're out here playing the playoffs, so it's really special out here tonight.
All right, Talon, looking forward to it. Thanks for all the fun this season, and good luck.
Thank you.
Want to thank Talon Tillman for taking a few moments after practice, standing out in the chilly, windy weather with me and putting up with all of my questions. Talon's been just a delight to watch this year, especially on the defensive side of the ball where you can see him flying around. He averages over 7 tackles per game to lead the way on defense for the Wolverines, but he's also a key component to the Riverton offense, kind of that lead blocking back position at times, and enables quarterback Derek DeVries to run or allows him some more protection when he does drop back to throw. So Talon Tillman joining us here on the Porter's Tailgate Show. Coming up in a few moments, we'll be joined by Riverton quarterback Derek DeVries. We will also chat with the head coach, Mark Lenhart. Coming up here first, though, on the Porter's Tailgate Show, we'll get into our playoff football update with some scores across the states and set up the rest of the schedule for games of interest this evening. There is one Fremont County team that is done in their quarterfinal game, so we'll update you coming up here shortly. Also, the Wolverine weekend on the way. Got regional volleyball updates, last chance girls swimming too, so we'll let you know what's going on at Riverton High School. This is the Porter's Tailgate Show. You're listening to the Wolverines on 105.1 Jack FM and at County 10's YouTube channel.
For an upgrade to your vehicle, Wyoming 4x4 is the place to go for all your upgrade needs. From lift kits to bumpers, grill guards to bed liners, we've got everything you need to take your ride to the next level. We use top brands for our bumpers like Fab 4s, Ranch Hand, and Road and more. So get your vehicle ready and stop at Wyoming 4x4 or give Dan a call at 307-857-3175.
Redden, Kane & Associates. CPAs is your go-to source for tax, financial, and business solutions. Our experienced professionals are trusted and know the numbers. We're dedicated to providing personalized attention to each of our clients. Whether you're an individual or a business, we're here to help with all your accounting needs. Let us do the math for you. Stop in or visit rivertoncpa.com to learn more.
Meyer.
Welcome to the Porter's Tailgate Show.
It's about that time.
Go Big Red! Go Big Red! Go Big Red! Go Big Red!
If you're willing to accept the responsibility that you have to protect this team and this school and this town, and make no mistake about it, gentlemen, we are in the business of protecting this town.
I shut them down, shut them down, shut them down.
Coming up, you'll hear from RHS head coach Mark Lenhart, our athlete spotlights, and your Wolverine weekend reports.
Let's get rocking!
Wolverine football is just a half an hour away. Here are Wolverine analyst Scott Fuller and the voice of the Wolverines, Jared Anderson.
The Porter's Tailgate Show continues here as we are just a skosh inside of half an hour before kickoff. The Evanston Red Devils, the number 4 Riverton Wolverines 3A football playoff action, and a rematch of a game we saw from Evanston. Scott and I made the trip to Uinta County way back in early September. Evanston got the better of Riverton in that game, but as I recall, a frustrating loss for the Wolverines. Some mistakes and things that I think have been cleaned up here as we anticipate matchup number 2. But that goes for Evanston, too. It's an improved ball club over there, too.
When we went into that Evanston game, they were suffering from committing way too many penalties in the first couple of weeks of the season, and they committed some against the Wolverines in that regular season matchup as well. Just at the end of the day, a few too many mistakes. I also think the Wolverines may have been in a bit more of a situation of we're still learning how to win those close games. And since then, they've come out on top of similar opponents and arguably better opponents than the Wolverines and then Evanston represents here tonight. So both of these teams are, I think it's fair to say, much different, dramatically different in some areas than they were in the opening regular season matchup between these two teams back in September.
Crowd is filing in here to a chilly Wolverine field. Scott and I have been out here for a couple of hours already in the shade here and setting up outside for our broadcast. So you'll have to excuse the teeth chattering.
No
but
kidding.
You know what? Dress warm. Come out. It's I think it's ski and snowboard student theme night, which is nice because you have an excuse to dress in your warm winter clothes anyway. Come on out. And I know the Riverton High School Key Club is serving a benefit dinner tonight. I saw the Kiwanis Club out here selling some refreshments and concessions too. So if you're getting off of work and thinking about dinner, come on up to Wolverine Field and support some great causes. We've got to look at your Wolverine weekend report in just a few moments. We'll chat with quarterback Derek DeVries as well as head coach Mark Lenhart here on the Porter's Tailgate Show. But first, this is the first update we're going to get you from longtime Riverton sportscaster, still the voice of the Wolverines in my mind, and the voice of Central Wyoming College athletics. John Gabrielson is back in the studio with an update on some playoff scores thus far. John, take it away.
All right, Jared, you guys stay warm. Let's sit back and catch up with some scores. The DuBois Rams pulled off a road win, a 57-32 win over the KC Buckaroos. It wasn't easy, however. The Rams led early but found themselves down 14-13 just before half, and they scored 3 touchdowns in less than 20 seconds, spanning the end of the second and the early portion of the third.
Hawkins to get the snap. Toss to Tremblay, trying to find a hole, and he has one. Touchdown. Wyatt Tremblay, the DuBois Rams from 5 yards out. DuBois Rams are back on top, 19-14 with the point after coming.
County 10's Wyatt Barichka with the call. Then the kickoff.
Swim kick there is Cleveland doesn't get it, and the DuBois Rams get the football. How about that? That was a nice kick there. Went right between the legs of Cleveland. And
after that, they lined up for one more play.
Hess will give it to Tremblay. They'll pass it back, and now Siler Hess is looking as Hess breaks a tackle, rolling out to his right, looking all the way to the end zone. Flag comes down, and it's caught by Jonah Orr, but we have to await the penalty, though, as the penalty flag is at the 38-yard line.
Penalty was a face mask against the Buckaroos. It was declined. Then in the second half,
it's going to be given to Tremblay up the middle. He's got some room and more. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. DuBois in for 6 is Wyatt Tremblay on a big carry there.
Again, 3 touchdowns in the span of about 18 seconds or so. In the other 6-man games, number 1 Snake River advanced with a 74-20 win over Hewlett. Rattlers trailed 12-6 in the first, then exploded for 55 points in the second and third quarters combined, led 27-12 at half. Burlington would knock off Farson 64-20. Huskies led 49-6 at the half. Encampment beats Matitsi 60-20. Encampment led 41-14 at the half. Couple of afternoons in Class 2A, the Mountain View Buffaloes hosting the Wheatland Bulldogs. Wheatland gets to within 1 at 7-6, and then it was Carson Erdley taking over.
Received well by the Buffaloes, carried out at the 20. Erdley on the carry, finds his space to the 40. Midfield logo will beat the last man. 30, 20, 10, and it is a touchdown return to the house. Touchdown, Buffalo.
95-yard kickoff return, My Local Radio with the call. Check out this stat line. Erdley had that 95-yard kick return. He ran a fumble back for a score, an interception for a score, and had a rushing TD. Tongue River took a 13-0 lead on Lyman after 2 quarters of play. Just under 4 minutes left to play in the ball game. Lyman would go for it on 4th down deep in Tongue River territory.
They're going to go for it, and they're going to hand it off to Kais Herdsman on the little pitch, and he's going to throw it, actually, and they're going to score! They were in the formation like they were going to QB sneak. Pitched it out to Kais Herdsman. Kais Herdsman ran and saw the defender collapse on him. And he just set his feet and threw it to Caleb Smith for the 13-yard touchdown.
The Eagles would then go for 2.
Here's the snap. He finds a hole, dives forward, and he has got it. Lyman Eagles take the lead, 14-13. Only 3:47 left to go.
Thanks to the radio network for the audio, Lyman defeats Tongue River 14-13 to advance. 1A9 will have a new champion after Big Piney knocked off Pine Bluffs, the defending champs, 28-14 in Big Piney. Caden Clifford scores up the middle on a 77-yard touchdown run right after Pine Bluffs had tied the game in the middle of the second quarter. Big Piney goes on to win it 28-14. The rest of the state's football games have either kicked off just a few minutes ago at 5 o'clock or getting ready to at 6 o'clock. Further bulletins as events warrant. Guys, back to you.
All right, John Gabrielson, fantastic stuff there as always. Fun to hear some of those highlights from earlier games. And for Fremont County, congratulations to the Du Bois Rams moving on in the 6-man playoffs. A date with Little Snake River is straight ahead for them. In 20 minutes, it's Riverton and Evanston as we count you down to the 3A football playoffs here on Jack FM and County 10's YouTube channel. Moving on to the Wolverine weekend, we back up first and take a look at a few things from last weekend. The State Cross Country Invitational was held in Cheyenne last weekend. In 3A races, Evanston won the boys' side. The Riverton boys did take 3rd overall, though. Caden Chatfield had the best individual performance for the Wolverines, finishing 9th overall. Alexander Truix took 12th. Davian Spoonhunter was 16th, and Marshall Walton took 19th. On the girls' side of State Cross Country, Powell came away the champions. Lady Wolverine cross-country team finished 12th overall. Kiana Swan, the top finisher for the RHS ladies, at 23rd. Regional volleyball going on this weekend. The Lady Wolverines are off to Green River for the 4A West regional volleyball. Speaking of regionals, there's a lot of extra activity up here at the high school with 1A, 2A West regional volleyball going on. And then over in Lander, it's the 3A West regional volleyball as I frantically look to refresh the 4A West bracket, see if I can find a Lady Wolverines final for you. I can. Lady Wolverines knocked off Jackson in the first round at regional volleyball in 5 sets. 5th set goes 15-8, so congrats to the Lady Wolverines. They play again coming up here in just a few minutes against the winner of Cody and Evanston for an opportunity to qualify for the state volleyball tournament. So good luck to Coach Taylor and the Lady Wolverines. And last chance girls swimming was held yesterday for the Lady Wolverines. I'm told there were a couple of extra qualifiers there. State girls swimming coming up next weekend in Gillette. This is the Porter's Tailgate Show. Evanston and Riverton coming up in 17 minutes. When we come back, we'll chat with the senior captain quarterback of the Wolverines, Derek DeVries, on the other side of a very short timeout. You're listening to the Wolverines on 105.1 Jack FM and County 10's YouTube channel.
Selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, and dining room. Plus, we have the latest trends in home furnishings. Our mattresses are comfortable and affordable, and our appliances are built to last. Whether you're looking for a new TV, sofa, or refrigerator, we have the perfect finish, style, and function for your home. Visit us at 420 Main Street in Lander or check out our website, landergambles.com. Today.
This guy was driving way over the speed limit. Look at the damage. This guy was going a lot over the speed limit. Look at the damage. This guy was going a little over the speed limit. Look at the damage.
Myers Gambles is your one-stop shop for furniture, mattresses, and appliances in Lander, Wyoming. We have an
Find more Fremont County sports coverage on the County 10 Sports Podcast.
It has been 4 years since Wolverine Field has hosted a playoff game. That changes in just a few moments as we count you down to kickoff. Jared Anderson, Scott Fuller with you on 105.1 Jack FM and the County 10 Sports Network. This is the Porter's Tailgate Show. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to catch up with the Riverton senior leader quarterback, Derek DeVries. Here's my conversation with Derek.
Riverton quarterback Derek DeVries. Derek, first of all, how's practice been this week?
It's been a different feel for sure. You know, it's been a long time since Riverton's made the playoffs. We're all super excited, super stoked, so it's been a great week of practice. Probably our best so far.
You've had so many obstacles to overcome personally. I guess I should start with the foot. How's the foot feeling?
Yeah, it has its moments. Right now we're feeling pretty good. It's getting better.
All right, good deal. You've had such a tough slate of games the first few weeks of the season. It's just been day and night a different team. What do you attribute that to?
Our progress, I 100% put on coaching this year. We've always had the talent in Riverton. We've just never been coached well like this. So Coach Lenhart coming in, getting the staff ready, has been a huge help.
What's been the funnest part of the season up to this point?
I think practice is way more fun when we're actually getting something out of it. So our team sessions, like tonight, we're doing really good, and we're joking around in the huddle, having fun, and that's the best football.
This Evanston team, you saw them way back early on in the season. What did you take away from that game, and what are you looking forward to in round two?
Obviously, I have a biased feel about it. We should have taken that dub. So this is kind of our redemption time, to show ourselves against Evanston. I think we have a pretty good shot.
What's it say about this team to get a home playoff game? I don't know if that's happened before for you during your high school career, but to be able to play these, hopefully, couple of games at home.
No, yeah, it is huge to have a home field advantage in the community around us. It's huge.
And then your fellow seniors, I'm going to chat with Talon here in a second. What did this senior class mean to you?
We've been playing together since RJFL, so it's a brotherhood. I think of them as family. So to go out there, to go to war every Friday with them, it's an honor.
Final question. I know this is football weather, but probably the coldest game of the season coming up. Does that change anything you do?
No, we're still going to play our game and do what we do. So, all
right, it's been a lot of fun all year. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Riverton senior quarterback Derek DeVries joining us on the Porter's Tailgate Show. My thanks to him for joining me on a chilly night after practice. I mentioned earlier here in the pregame show how much fun it's been to watch Talon on the defensive side of the football. It's been just as fun to watch Derek at quarterback for Riverton, and that foot injury has bothered him throughout the year, but he's battled back with a lot of guts and a lot of courage, and is just definitely one of the team leaders, one of the best quarterbacks, for my money, at least in 3A football in Wyoming. So it'll be fun to see Derek again getting some playoff action here in just a few moments. This is the Porter's Tailgate Show, made possible by Porter's Mountain View Supply at Sunset and Federal in Riverton. Coming up, we will chat with the head coach, Mark Lenhart. You are listening to Wolverine football on 105.1 Jack FM and on the County 10 YouTube channel.
News leader. We're everywhere, on the web, mobile, social, and on your radio dial, with all the news you need to feel connected. From sports to board meetings and community features, we work hard to bring you all the latest updates you care about. Visit us today at county10.com. County 10, community connected.
Elevate Rehab's founding principle on you is evident from your first visit to the last. Our practice model ensures treatment as you deserve, a private one-on-one session with a licensed therapist the entire visit, every visit. All therapists hold advanced credentialing, including 2 certified hand therapists, an orthopedic clinical specialist, an MDT therapist, as well as pelvic floor and pregnancy rehab offerings. With over 100 years of combined experience between our 7 clinicians, Elevate is your ticket to health. Find us in Lander, DuBois, and visit our website or Facebook page. Choose Elevate Rehab to elevate your outcomes.
I'm a big Wolverine! I'm a big Wolverine! I'm a big Wolverine! I'm a big Wolverine!
And now, more Riverton playoff football. Back to Jared and Scott from Wolverine Field.
Porter's Tailgate Show continues here from a chilly, frigid Wolverine Field. I can see my breath as I broadcast here in the top row of Wolverine Stadium, Wolverine Field, if you will. But, man, it's all worth it because it's going to be a fun one tonight with Riverton taking on Evanston to open up the playoffs. Scott Fuller has provided outstanding analyzation. What's the word I want to say?
That's probably the word for what I've been doing. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what it is,
wanted to make sure that's the word. But
I think analysis.
Analysis would 100% be the word. Scott has some keys to the game tonight. And Scott, what do the Wolverines have to do well to be successful?
Yeah, brought to you by Gambles and Landers. We have no video streaming tonight. They have been our great replay sponsor, providing replays, but they won't be able to do that tonight because we can't provide a video of postseason games. But Gamble's keys tonight, first of all, hate to pick on the quarterback because he's the first guy that always gets celebrated justly or otherwise and blamed justly or otherwise when the offense does something well or not. But Derek DeVries has to have a good game. He's made a couple of reads here and there. I've said before that he's the best quarterback for my money in the 3A East, and he is good for a bad read a game to this point. And there were even a couple last week against Warland, a couple more than usual. So Derek has to make smart decisions, good reads down the field. I think defense has to watch, obviously, Kai Barker, the tall receiving option for Evanston, find a way to neutralize him. I'm not sure the weather is pass game altering enough. It's definitely cold down there on the field. Might affect some grips and some catches, but there isn't a whole lot of wind and there is no snow, so you should have a nice, clean, dry football to throw and catch. So Kai Barker may yet be a factor, and limit the turnovers and penalties. That just goes for any football game ever. But you saw how close this game was. Evanston may give you the ball. They may commit a couple more turnovers and penalties than you. Let them do that and try to keep it under their mistake level. So I think those 3 things can end up in a Riverton Wolverines first-round victory tonight.
Scott Fuller's keys to the game, brought to you by Myers Gambles in Lander. We appreciate their support all season long, and they do offer free delivery within 30 miles of their Lander store, so that includes the Riverton area, and they've got just a fantastic staff and great customer service. Saw the coin flip a few moments ago. Riverton won the coin toss and elected to receive. We've seen them alternate between either deferring or receiving. They said, we want the ball this time around. Looks like we may get a national anthem here shortly, so let's step aside if we can and get you one more break. And when we come back, it'll be kickoff time. Riverton and Evanston straight ahead on 105.1 Jack FM and County10.com.
At Eyes on Fremont, we know that good vision is about more than just seeing clearly. That's why we're dedicated to providing expert eye care for the whole family. From children's exams to contacts, LASIK to glaucoma treatment, we're here to help. We accept most insurance plans, and our experienced team will make sure you feel right at home. Schedule an appointment today at 111 South Broadway in Riverton, or give us a call at 307-856-9000. Visit WyomingEyes.net to learn more.
See Allison at lunch today? I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna text Allison. Hey, hold up, Matt's calling me. Hey, we got the food and we're on our way right now. Hey, who's coming, bro? Dude, what did he tell?
Wyoming Catholic College is a unique institution that offers an immersion in the Western tradition, the beauty and challenges of the wilderness, and the treasures of the Catholic spiritual heritage. Our mission is to provide a unique educational experience that nurtures the body, mind, and spirit. We are proud of our alumni success stories and the learning opportunities we offer through our academic outreach programs. Come and explore our campus in Lander, Wyoming.
This is Maven, award-winning optics for the adventurous. From binoculars to spotting scopes, Maven has you covered. Be prepared for scouting, wildlife watching, or any outdoor adventure. As a proud sponsor of local high school sports, we wish all the Fremont County athletes the best of luck this season. Visit mavenbuild.com for more information and to order. Maven, discover something new.
For the first time in 4 years, playoff football has come to Wolverine Field.
Two receivers out to the right, one to the left. Fake it to Gattenbein. DeVries is going to take it, and he is across the goal line and in. Touchdown, Wolverines. 4th and 7. Patterson in the shotgun. Receiver to either side. Hammond with him in the backfield. Wolverines showing pressure again. They bring the house. Pass is incomplete. Wolverines hold a turnover on downs. Ryan Dennis has his punt blocked. Wolverines are on it. They're going to get this punt at the 6-yard line. DeVries wants to run on 2nd and 1. He's got the first down, and he's got some more. Slips another tackle. DeVries to the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines.
How you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now?
It's win or go home. Red Devils, Wolverines, with a shot at the state semifinal game on the line. It's time for kickoff. From Wolverine Field, here are Wolverine analyst Scott Fuller and the voice of the Wolverines, Jared Anderson.
We are just about ready for kickoff in a playoff game for the first time in 4 years at Wolverine Field. Riverton fans making some noise as the Wolverines just took the field for the first time. Evanston is out warming up as well. And Scott Fuller, it's been a fun season, certainly. There's been a lot of highlights, especially the second half of the regular season. But this is what you work every week towards. We speculated every week down the stretch what the Wolverine postseason outlook may be, and it's still kind of hard for me to believe, rewinding to 2 months ago, that we've got a home playoff game.
Yeah, I can't say I don't care what happens here tonight. Obviously, we want to see the Riverton Wolverines win this first playoff game at home in 4 years, but I do want to remind myself that this was unexpected, that the season, first year under Coach Lenhart, is already a success just by virtue of the fact that the Riverton Wolverines were the 1 seed, won the division, and are here to host a home playoff game. So as we kick things off here momentarily on a crisp Friday evening, with the hope of being able to move on to the second round in either Cody or Douglas, we got to keep things in perspective. A win tonight would be great, but let's just appreciate the fact that the Wolverines are hosting a home playoff game.
Temperature about 29 degrees here in Riverton as we get this one going. At a high temperature in the upper 30s today, and we'll be down in the low 20s and teens by the end of the ball game here It'll be Riverton football as we get underway a couple of minutes before 6 o'clock. Jordan Mendez has it teed up. The Evanston junior kicker has been fantastic this year. Ty Sheets, Nick McIntosh back deep to receive for the Wolverines. Evanston's in their away white tops, blue pants, red helmets. Mendez puts his leg to it. It'll be an end-over-end kick that's fielded by McIntosh at the 10-yard line. Ty tries to find a seam on the right side and is stuck at the 26-yard line by a Red Devil. Wolverines will take over at their own 26. Riverton will be in their all-black uniforms. They are trimmed in cardinal red numbers, Wolverines across the front, and the R helmet logo with the R paw on the side. Wolverines first broke out these all-black uniforms in the Rollins homecoming game. Was supposed to be their alternate jersey. They haven't lost in these jerseys, so they just keep wearing them.
Yeah, why not?
Derek DeVries out of the shotgun, tight bunch formation to start the ball game. DeVries patiently waits behind his offensive line and will shoot forward for a gain of 1 or 2 on the ground. Not much doing there on the first play from scrimmage for the Wolverines.
As we've covered throughout the season, Derek DeVries has had to play a big part in the Riverton Wolverines grounds game due to some backfield by committee and some injuries, but he is more than capable of doing that as a dual threat running and throwing quarterback.
Second down and 9 coming up for Riverton. Kind of a sparse crowd on a Friday night. Despite a playoff game, it is frigid, as I mentioned. The band is also not here due to some other obligations. DeVries out of the shotgun, rolling to his left now, throws back across the field to Sheets. Sheets has got it for a first down and a couple more. Ty Sheets out over the 42-yard line and out of bounds.
This is a play that the Wolverines ran on the first series against Buffalo as well. It's one of the first passing attempts that they made. It's a designed rollout as DeVries takes his offensive line to his left. Sheets coming across the 40-yard line across the entire defense and works successfully against Evanston as it did against Buffalo.
2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left for Derek. Now 2 as Gattenbein comes out of the backfield and joins the left side of those receivers. DeVries, 3-step drop, screen pass to Saltzgaver. He's got it across midfield. Another Riverton first down and is tackled by Kai Barker, but into Evanston territory. Branson Saltzgaver all the way down to the 36.
Those 4 wide receivers for the Wolverines were just running 9s. They were just all going vertical to take the top off the defense and clear things out for the screen. And when Saltzgaver caught that ball, there wasn't a white jersey within about 5-6 yards of him. Beautifully designed play and well executed for a big first down.
Trips will go out to the left side. DeVries again works out of the shotgun. Talon Tillman now comes in motion, lines up in the backfield. DeVries fakes the throw, wants to run with it. He'll lead block or run behind the lead blocker, Talon Tillman, and DeVries is going to pick up 8 yards on the ground. So much better carry there on attempt number 2 for Derek DeVries.
It was a designed play fake out to the left side, faking the pass to the flat, should say, and DeVries going off right tackle. Very patient runner once he gets going. Just took his time to find the hole and gain about 7-8 yards on that play.
Second down and 2 coming up for the Wolverines at the Evanston 28-yard line. They're stacked up in the backfield. 1 receiver stretched far out to the left side. DeVries designed to run it again, trying to use a block now out to the right side. Derek's going to pick up 4, and that's good enough for another first down.
Once again, a designed run for Derek DeVries with those 3 backs in the backfield there for Riverton. Didn't get much, but it was good enough for a Wolverines first down. This, Jared, is just about as efficient and effective an offensive opening drive as you could draw up and hope for the Wolverines.
I mentioned that the crowd is a little bit sparse compared to some of the other ones we've seen here at Wolverine Field due to the chilly conditions, but they are boisterous and excited here on the first series. 3 first downs for the Wolverines. Derek's going to go under center this time. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Fake the handoff, tries to roll out, looks for an open Ty Sheets. He's got him. Sheets is inside of the 5, down to the goal line. He's down at about the 1-yard line. DeVries to Ty Sheets for 23 yards through the air.
Yeah, DeVries rolling out to his left and having to be very patient as a couple of Big guys in white jerseys were chasing him in the pocket to that left side, and it was a design drag all the way across the play. Nearly got into the end zone, but good enough for a first and goal for the Wolverines with 8:39 left to go here in the first quarter.
Official frantically waving his hands for the clock to stop. Now they'll finally get there. Derek DeVries under center. He's just going to follow Nathan Mills into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines.
That was a slow, methodical, intentional, but very effective drive. Hitting Evanston on all levels defensively, forcing them to respect the running ability of Derek DeVries in the backfield, and also his ability to roll out and move in the pocket and find streaking receivers over the middle. That's just about all you can hope for as a Wolverine fan on drive number 1.
Saltzgaber's extra point is up and good. Hunter Saltzgaber has been nearly perfect this season. The only one he missed was on a block that he didn't have a chance. So I'm going to go ahead and say he's perfect when he's had the opportunity to kick it. And with 8:36 remaining in the first quarter, the Fremont Chevrolet scoreboard goes Riverton 7, Evanston 0, with Evanston's first offensive possession still to come.
Well, that puts the onus on Evanston in what's anticipated to be a very back-and-forth, pretty close game, just about handicapped that way by everybody who pays attention to 3A football. Obviously, nobody knows what's going to happen until you get out here. But Evanston wanted a better defensive showing than that on Riverton's first drive of a home playoff game. Bringing the crowd into it here, as you can hear in front of us. And that's going to put again, that pressure on Evanston to answer back and not give the ball back to the Wolverines with a chance to go up 2 scores.
Brooks Surley and Kai Barker are in the backfield for the Red Devils. Actually, that's Cole Robinette that's back there. Brooks had a lot of returns earlier this year, but is not back there now. It's Robinette and Barker. Hunter Saltzgaber has it on the tee. And we'll boot it away here momentarily. Puts one finger in the air and will kick a low line drive that takes a couple of bounces. Kai Barker picks it up at his own 5, tries to cut it back all the way across the field. Barker will get it out over the 30-yard line before he's brought down by Ty Sheets.
See on that last kickoff return how much speed Kai Barker has in the open field. He is not only tall and a big receiving target, but he can move like that in open space. That was one of our keys to the game, to keep him neutralized. I think Evanston has seen a couple of big kickoff returns that they have other teams have managed to pop against Riverton, so I'm sure that's something they'll be looking to capitalize on tonight.
8:29 remaining in the first quarter. Evanston's first play of the ball game as their senior quarterback Cohen Morrow is out of the shotgun. Hand it to Brady Roberts. Roberts will try the right side. Not a lot doing there, and is corralled by a couple of Wolverines. Brady Roberts, the outstanding running back, goes for 1.
Yeah, he's a threat. He was a factor in the first game between these two teams in the regular season. Obvious what Evanston wants to do is set up Brady Roberts side to side to draw the Riverton defense in. And then you have big Kai Barker over the top. But that's one area where Riverton's gotten a lot better, that side-to-side pursuit on those outside run plays.
Morrow out of the shotgun. Roberts off to his left side. Give it back to Brady. Brady will try that right side. He's got a lot more room. First down, and is knocked out of bounds finally at about the 48-yard line, maybe right to midfield. Brady Roberts with a big run, and Evanston's first down.
That was a nice answer by Evanston after a nice step on first down by the left side of the Riverton defense. And good enough for a first down. It's going to be like this all night. Nobody's expecting either side to completely neutralize the opponent's offense. It's going to be coming down to how few mistakes you can make.
Morrow in the gun. They'll snap it right at the 50-yard line. Fake the handoff to Roberts. Morrow wants to throw for the first time. He's being flushed out of the pocket, chased by Ryan Cox. Morrow gets it away, throws it into the Evanston bench. Out of bounds. Good pursuit, Ryan Cox.
And that's a good decision at the end of the play there by Morrow. He starts out going left and is pursued back to the right. Morrow's a good mobile quarterback, but he has nobody to throw to by that point in the play on the right side. Outside of the tackle, got the ball past the line of scrimmage, so no intentional grounding thought of there, but it's a nice first down stop for the Wolverine defense.
You hear the Riverton supporters chanting for their defense. Morrow in the gun, 2 receivers to either side. Roberts with him in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Morrow wants to run. Morrow quickly across the 45 down to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 6 or 7 on the ground.
There's a read option there in the backfield for Morrow, and he made the right decision with that left end for Riverton crashing down just a little bit too hard. Morrow pulled the ball back and advanced for 6, maybe 7, long 6-yard gain on the play. Still a 3rd down coming up here.
Drew Barker will go out wide to the right. Roberts in the backfield with Morrow. A couple of receivers in close to the formation. They'll give it to Brady Roberts. Roberts is going to drive the pile forward. Had contact early on, but keeps pushing it forward for a 1st down and a whole lot more. He's all the way down to the 32.
The Wolverines were able to impact Roberts right about the 1st down. Looks like he was going to get it anyway, but he kept those feet moving. He's a low to the ground back, powerful, strong kid, and kept a couple of black jerseys moving on his back for an additional 5 yards on the play.
Roberts and Morrow, 2 very powerful seniors. You'll hear another senior, Kai Barker, into the mix here at receiver at some point tonight. Give it to Roberts again. Better job from the Wolverines, as Roberts is going to pick up 2 on the carry. And honestly, Brady did a good job to pick up a couple of yards because he was met behind the line of scrimmage initially.
I think that was Derek DeVries flying in there going after the ankles of the running back. Didn't come up with a tackle, but he did alter the direction of the back enough to allow his teammates to get there and make the play. So, yeah, nice effort to get back to the line of scrimmage, but even better to gain a couple for Evanston on that run.
Midway through the first quarter, it's 7-0. Riverton. RHS scored a 74-yard drive, their first of the game. Evanston in Wolverine territory now. Morrow being flushed out of the pocket. Cox, that's Caden Liebrick giving pursuit. Morrow turns it in to a 1st down, though, on the run. Knocked out of bounds along the Wolverine sideline at the 16, and we move the chains again.
Well, I thought that was going to be a big plus play for the Riverton defense there. Morrow was in trouble, rolling to his left as a right-handed quarterback, and he just was able to get the edge off the left side of the Riverton defense. The difference between about an 8-yard sack and what ends up being a 1st down conversion for Evanston.
1st down and 10 for the Red Devils from the Wolverines 16-yard line with 5 minutes, 42 seconds to play first quarter. Trips in a bunch formation to the right side. Drew Barker is all alone to the left for Morrow. Morrow rolling to his right side, directing traffic. Tillman pursuing from his backside. Now Morrow will step back, throw it away, and it was caught, but I think out of bounds. Wanted Kai Barker for a short gain, but he was out of bounds.
Yeah, Morrow rolling to his right. I think a designed rollout on this play, extending the play forever, and he's just kind of waiting for a white jersey to get free. Got to give all kinds of credit to Riverton's secondary to keep the options limited for Morrow. It's a lot to ask your secondary to cover 5, 6, 8 seconds down the field, but great job by the Wolverine defense.
Again, we say congratulations to DuBois victorious. We'll check in with John Gabrielson, who will get us a Wind River update here very soon. In the meantime, 2nd down and 6 from the 16 coming up for Evanston. Morrow in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right. Brady will take the handoff. He'll try the left side. Brady met by Nick McIntosh and Hunter Riemann there with the co-tackles. Gain of 4.
Reminder to those watching on the YouTube video stream that we are not able, due to state constrictions, we are not able to broadcast live video of the game here tonight. But we do have the scoreboard that you see up there on the screen and the audio broadcast. We're at 5:25 to go in the first quarter. Riverton up 7-0, but Evanston driving.
3rd down and 6. Riverton fans making a whole lot of noise. Morrow out of the gun. Barker comes in motion. Hand it to Roberts. Roberts has a big hole off the left side for a moment. It was closed nicely by Nick McIntosh, and Brady's not going to get to the 1st down. He did get inside of the 10-yard line. Nick did a great job of closing in on it, and it'll bring up 4th down and 3.
There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of thought of kicking the ball here. It looks like Evanston might be going for a 4th and long 3, ball just inside the 10-yard line. No personnel changes at all. It's going to be the same package, at least shown on the field for Evanston here on 4th down. Big play coming up.
Evanston does have a pretty solid kicker numbers-wise in Jordan Mendez, but they'll line up to go for it on 4th and 3. Morrow out of the shotgun, hands it to Roberts. Left side is met by McIntosh and Liebricht. He is right near the first down line, and I think he's going to get it by about a yard.
Just an extra little bit of oomph at the end of that run is going to result in a 1st and goal for Evanston. Nice stand there by the Riverton D, but just couldn't contact him just early enough in the backfield there to prevent a 1st down. Another long drive. Riverton scoring 7 on their long sustained first drive of the game. Evanston answering right back now, well inside the red zone, and 1st and goal.
Ball at the 5-yard line. Morrow breaks the huddle. Cohen goes under center. Receiver to either side in an I formation backfield. Robinette, the fullback, fake the handoff to Robinette, looking to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Well covered in the Riverton secondary. Evanston has chewed up some yards on the ground, but Morrow 0 for 3 on his last 3 passes.
It's another designed rollout for Morrow. Nick McIntosh was there. Nick wearing a sweatshirt under his shoulder pads tonight in single coverage there in the back of the end zone. Did have his left arm on the defender, but a great job of getting the right arm over and good timing on the play. I think a good no call on 1st and goal.
2nd down and goal for the Red Devils from the 5. Riverton out in front 7-0 right now. Pitch it to Roberts. Roberts use a hole off the right tackle and will gain 2. So Brady Roberts with his 9th carry on the drive. He's got 50 yards on the ground unofficially, but it'll bring up a 3rd and goal.
4:42 and counting here in the first quarter. Both teams long sustained drives. Riverton scoring on their first. Evanston remains to be seen, but it's a lot to ask of your defense. A lot of tired, I think, black jerseys out there early in this game after a long Evanston drive.
Morrow goes under center. Roberts in the backfield. Pitch it to Roberts, looking for some room on the right side. He's not going to get there. Gains another yard, but 4th and goal coming up from Evanston from about the 2-yard line.
Chewing up basically most of the first quarter with these 2 drives by these respective teams. 4-minute mark coming up here in the first quarter. And we will have, obviously Evanston went for it on 4th earlier in the drive just outside of the red zone. So you think here 1st and goal from the 2. Or 4th and goal from the 2, rather. There is no thought about it. One more play. Let's see if the Riverton Wolverines can step up for a big play here early in this first-round playoff game.
Morrow under center, I formation. Wolverines load the box. Receiver to either side. Hand it to Roberts. Roberts tried the right side. He is in. Touchdown, Evanston from 3 yards out. Brady Roberts. And we are a PAT away from being tied here with both teams taking it to the end zone on their first drives.
Roberts has been very effective on that drive, so don't overcomplicate things there if you're Evanston. If it's working for a couple of yards and you need a couple on 4th and goal from the 2, that's where you go back to, and Evanston's looking to tie the game with a PAT.
Jordan Mendez comes on for the extra point attempt. Bad snap, and it's going to be picked up by the holder who's going to try to run it in. Will not get there. Outstanding pursuit by a Wolverine on the far side of the field. That was Breckenridge, the holder, who tried to make something happen. And I think it's Talon Tillman getting all the high fives coming out of the pile there that made the great tackle.
Yeah, I don't think that was designed. I think you called it, Jared. I think that was a bad snap that just caught that might have been a weather temperature deal there. Not sure what it was, but the holder just did not get a good handle on the snap. And at that point, it's a broken play. Evanston had a chance at a 2-point conversion, but great job by the Riverton defense to stay on their toes. Depending on how this game goes, obviously 7-6, that 1-point difference could be the difference.
Let's check in with our John Gabrielson, who has an update on the Wind River Cougars.
6:19 left to play at a snowy Leroy Center Field. They have only cleared off the yard lines and the yard markers. It's a snowy one there, but the Cougars are slightly warmer. 6:19 left to play first half. Wind River 20, Lusk nothing. Other 1A 9-man game, Southeast leading Riverside 22-14 near the half in that one. Jared, back to you.
Thank you, John. It is 7-6. Wolverines on top of Evanston with 3:33 to play in the first quarter. Mendez has it on the tee. McIntosh and Sheets are back deep to receive. Jordan approaches the football, will put the leg to it. A low kick is fielded by McIntosh. He dropped it. Actually, that's Sheets back there who drops it, takes a knee, is hit hard, and now a flag comes out.
Yeah, he's the runner. Once in high school, once you are down with the ball and have possession of the ball, the play is over. And you saw an Evanston player coming in just full steam with the returner in just a terribly vulnerable position.
Helps the starting field position out for Riverton. They were going to be deep in their own territory. Sheets went down to get it on a knee at about the 11-yard line, but they'll call the personal foul, so much better field position for Riverton as the football now lies on the 26.
Evanston player lucky to stay in the game. That's a very dangerous play. Hitting a vulnerable defenseless player with no at full speed.
DeVries out of the shotgun, sends Tillman in motion, who lines up in that wingback position. Now Derek going to go left side, slip a couple of tackles. DeVries put a stiff arm forward and is ridden down to the turf after a gain of 7 by the other quarterback, Cohen Morrow, making the tackle.
DeVries going to be kind of how you set the tempo for Riverton in the run game. They have a couple of other options, but Derek DeVries, being the quarterback, is just so convenient to design plays around back there in the run game. Just makes Evanston think about so many different more things in the backfield.
Glad you're with us on Jack FM and County 10's YouTube channel. As always, drop us a comment, leave us a reaction. We'll interact with you and give you some shout-outs. Unfortunately, as Scott mentioned, not able to provide video of this one, but thanks for dealing with our voices in the audio. DeVries out of the shotgun is going to be stood up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 2.
Riverton trying the same play on the left side this time, and Evanston defensive line on the right side just doing a great job at the point of attack, just overloading the left side of the Riverton offensive line. So it doesn't work for a second time, brings up a 3rd down for the Wolverines.
See what Riverton can do on 3rd and 2 from their own 35. Derek standing in the shotgun, looking back to first-year head coach Mark Lenhart to get the signal. 2 receivers to either side. Low snap handled nicely by Derek. Carried out to Ty Sheets. Jumps to catch it at the 40-yard line. That's a Riverton first down. 3rd reception for Ty.
That's a great catch by Ty Sheets, kind of saving the drive there. Derek DeVries, not a bad ball at all. Throwing a stopper out there about 5 yards down the field on the right side. It just was a little bit high, and it was a little bit late getting to him. Sheets had enough cushion with the defender in front of him to go up and make a great catch, solid catch, come down for the first down for Riverton. Keeps the drive alive.
Talked to Derek DeVries on our Porter's Tailgate show. Said it's been one of the best weeks of practice all season, despite the chilly temperatures. He's had a great week of practice. Coach Lenhart told us that they moved practice last night to the Fremont County Fairgrounds and got to do some indoor work. DeVries rolling to his left. Flag comes in on the play. Derek's going to cut it all the way back across the field. Has a lot of room. Is across the 40 and out of bounds at about the 37, but there's a flag in the Wolverines' backfield.
Yeah, I think you might have this coming back with an offensive holding. Didn't see the culprit, but that is going to be the indication. So a nice run by Derek DeVries is going to be brought back. And that flag was thrown as Derek was, I think, still in the backfield on the run. So that's going to be a costly penalty, 10 from the spot.
They will place the football at about the 31-yard line. 1:16 to play first quarter. It's Riverton on top by a single point, 7-6. Riverton scored on a 74-yard drive on their first possession. Evanston took it 80 yards.
And now we're at 1 minute and counting in the first quarter.
Take that back. Got it by default on my stat sheet that says 80 yards. It was actually a 68-yard drive from Evanston. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Now man in motion is Gattenbein for the Wolverines. They'll flare it out to Ty Sheets. Sheets has a convoy of blockers in front of him and is leveled out of bounds just before he can get to the 40-yard line. big hits by Bronson Sims.
That gets a good chunk of it back. Second down and about 13 coming up after the gain of 7 or so. The clock is stopped at 43 seconds in the first quarter. Riverton's second drive of the game, as Jared indicated. Nice Sheets first down. Got us to this point, but after a holding call, Riverton's trying to get back in front of the sticks.
2-by-2, the receiver set. Gettenbein in the backfield with Derek. Trying to make at least a more manageable third down here. DeVries, a lot of time. Will tuck it and go now. His receivers were all covered. He's across the 45 and pushed out of bounds. Right near midfield. I think he's out of bounds at about the 48. So it'll be a third and we'll call it 3.
Good job of getting most of that back after the holding call. That last play on second down was the exact same screen play the Wolverines wanted to run and did run successfully in the first drive of the game, where you send all 4 receivers just flying to the end zone. This time, though, as the back leaked out with his lineman for the screen, there were 2 white jerseys right there. Evanston was not fooled by the same look a second time on back-to-back drives.
3 receivers go out to the left side. Third and 3 coming up for Riverton. Derek works out of the gun again. Derek in a quarterback draw up the middle. He's got a lot of room across the 40. Another Riverton first down, and DeVries takes Riverton into Evanston territory.
Yeah, we were sitting there at 1st and 20. After the holding call, the Wolverines got it down to third down and about 4, and that's just Derek DeVries using his legs. So much to account for with the receiving options that the Wolverines have. McIntosh doesn't have a catch yet, I don't think, here tonight.
He does not.
Sheets already has at least 1, if not 2, and you got Derek DeVries who can throw the ball to both those guys and then run, too. That's a lot for a defense to keep track of.
Ty Sheets, 4 catches, 50 yards. Branson Saltzgaver has 1 reception. Derek, 5 of 5 passing. DeVries under center. 3-man front by Evanston. Fake the pitch to Saltzgaver. Give it to Sheets. Sheets speedy to the right side. Is going to be knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Gain of 11 and a first down. Ty Sheets on the ground.
That was misdirection in the backfield. A fake pitch to the left side, and then Sheets is coming underneath to get the handoff counter from DeVries, and Sheets does a nice job finding the edge. Great job by the Riverton offensive line on this drive, by and large. And we are not taking a whole lot of time off the clock here. We're still at 22 seconds. Last 3-4 plays have taken a total of, I think, 20-25 seconds off the first quarter clock.
2 receivers out to the left side. Gettenbein in the backfield. Caden Liebrecht lines up in the wing back. Give it to Gettenbein. Blake tried the left side for about a yard, and that may take us to the end of the first quarter unless they hurry to the line, which it does not appear that they will. So after the first quarter from Wolverine Field in the 3A playoffs, it's Riverton 7, Evanston 6. Wolverines are driving. Come on back for the second quarter with us in just a moment on 105.1 Jack FM and County10.com.
All across Fremont County. Perfect Power provides services for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. Darren Hubble, owner and master electrician, has over 30 years of electrical experience. Darren's trustworthy team of professionals can get the job done right. Perfect Power, serving Fremont County and surrounding areas. Stop into 1320 West Main Street, Lander, or give him a call at 307-332-7184.
Tires, and more tires. Bailey Tire and Auto Service offers a huge selection, great prices, and fantastic service.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, this is Haley. With over 13,000 tires to choose, Bailey has tires for your ATV, farm implement, car, truck, trailer, semi, lawnmower, wheelbarrow, you name it. If it has a tire, Bailey Tire and Auto Service can fix it or replace it. Bailey Tire and Auto Service is your one-stop complete tire and service shop. Just remember, with Bailey's, there's no tricks, just tires.
You're listening to 3A Playoff Football on 105.1 Jack FM and County10.com.
Jared Anderson and Scott Fuller with you. John Gabrielson back at the studio, bringing us updates of some playoff games here again soon. It's the start of the second quarter from a frigid Wolverine Field. on this October evening. Riverton on top of Evanston at 7-6. Both teams scored on their opening possessions. Only difference so far is Evanston missed their extra points. Bad snap. They tried to fire drill it and couldn't convert the 2-point conversion. So that's where we are. Wolverines driving, though. They've got it at the 23-yard line of Evanston. DeVries is alone in the backfield. Flag flies as soon as the play starts. He will check it down to Ty Sheets, who catches it and will run forward for about 7. But again, a flag in the Riverton backfield as soon as the play started.
See what the indication is, but it does look like this one might be coming back. White hat official is looking toward the far Evanston sideline.
It's an illegal shift, I think, on Riverton.
Somebody must not have been set, and 2 players in motion there. Didn't see that myself, but we'll back up the Wolverines for 2nd down again.
Sun setting at Wolverine Field.
Moon rising.
Yeah, moon is very large tonight. I was going to say it's not quite a full moon, I don't think yet, but it is picturesque here with a nice sunset.
Now 2nd and 15, talked about those mistakes.
Folks on the opposite side of the field with a bonfire going on over there. They've got the right idea because it is frigid without that bonfire. 2 receivers to either side. DeVries in the shotgun, Gattenbein with him in the backfield, and another flag before the play can start.
Can't do this. Can't make these mental mistakes. Talk about pre-snap penalties. Most of the time, those are entirely voluntary and that they're avoidable. That's just mental focus. That's not knowing where you're supposed to be or when you're supposed to be there before the snap of the ball. Back to back.
Goes offside against the Red Devils
I'm sorry
there.
about that. I apologize to Riverton. So we got the 5 back.
2nd down and 9 coming up for Riverton.
We'll take that. Ignore everything I just said.
Can do. DeVries out of the shotgun. Quick drop. Looks to the end zone. He's got Sheets one-on-one. Ty has it broken up. Excellent coverage by Drew Barker. It was in Ty's grasp for a moment, but the first incompletion of the game for Derek.
It's a nice-looking ball there from Derek DeVries. Looking for Sheets. Threw it. Underthrew it just a little bit. I think he was looking for Sheets to come back to it, though. I think that was kind of a intentional underthrow. I think he was betting on Sheets being better than his guy in coverage. And a nice adjustment to the ball by Sheets. Just didn't all come together on the catch, but it was right there. Worth a shot.
3rd and 9 for Riverton now. Derek has 2 receivers to either side. Gattenbein with him in the backfield. Evanston will shift things around defensively a little bit. Now Gattenbein comes in motion to the left side. DeVries to the end zone again. He's got McIntosh in and out of the hands of Nick McIntosh. Riverton fans back-to-back plays in that corner of the end zone. Thought they had a touchdown, but at the last moment it comes free out of Nick's grasp.
Well, they schemed him so beautifully open there. Nick McIntosh had a couple of steps on the defender, and this is a ball we've seen between DeVries and McIntosh a dozen times or more throughout the regular season. It was a beautiful ball by Derek DeVries. McIntosh had his body and his feet in the right position, just couldn't come down with what was a difficult catch in the corner of the end zone.
Hunter Seltz gave her on for what would be his year-long from about 40 yards. Kick is away, looks to the left, it is no good.
Had the distance. Almost. I think there was some wind taking care of the ball at the end there, because when that left his foot, I thought that was good for 3 points from 40 yards. Impressive leg, very consistent kicker he has been all year. Just didn't end up right in the last about 3-4 yards of that kick.
Evanston will take over for the second time. 1st and 10 from their own 23 with 11:43 to play in the second quarter. Well, didn't translate into points, which is the ultimate goal, but Riverton another very long drive there. Took a lot of time off the clock. Handoff is to Brady Roberts on 1st down. Roberts will find 5. That's the 12th carry already for Brady.
Evanston ran a 2-back scheme there and faked it to the deep back and handed it quick to the up back. Did catch the Wolverines by surprise enough for a 5-6 yard game.
2nd and 4 coming up as Evanston breaks the huddle. Roberts out to the left side. Drew Barker alone to the right side for Evanston. Shotgun snap. Morrow almost sacked by Liebricht. Now he's going to turn it into a positive and go forward right near the first down marker. Cohen Morrow did a great job to not only avoid the sack, but then dart around a couple of times and pick up a first down.
Was that Liebricht there first in the backfield? Man, I thought Morrow was lunch on that play. Liebricht was in beautiful position, and I'm not sure how Morrow was able to adjust his feet and his big frame out of that trouble. But then, as you say, Jared, he got back up into the pocket and down the field and actually turned that into a first down conversion.
Wolverine fans making some noise again, stomping along, cheering their team on and trying to stay warm. Morrow out of the shotgun. Take a couple of steps to his left. Now look across the field. He's got a receiver who is hit right at the first down marker. That's Drew Barker. No, that's Kai Barker, the other Barker senior.
I think that's Kai's first reception on the night, if I'm not mistaken.
Guess they called it incomplete. Maybe he was out of bounds.
Oh, we'll take that because that looked good from here. It's all the way on the far side of the field, though, so difficult for us to see. But you saw Kai Barker with a nice route, timing route. Nice throw by Morrow, and I thought that Kai might have been able to get his foot down, but we're not going to argue with that. Brings up a 2nd and 10 for Evanston.
Cook and the two Barkers, Drew and Kai, out to the left side. Roberts in the backfield. They'll shovel pass it to, I believe that's Cook. No, that's Kai Barker again. Barker's got a big burst of speed, and Barker's got 12 on 2nd down. Good enough for a first down.
It's a really similar play that the Wolverines ran on that inside, kind of fake the pitch and then go counter to the other way inside, except the Evanston version, they pitch it to their wide receiver in Kai Barker, just trying to find all kinds of different creative ways to get his hand on the ball. He's just too good of an athlete, Kai Barker is, for Evanston, to keep him out of the game plan for too long.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Wolverines on top of the Red Devils, 7-6 on the Fremont Chevrolet scoreboard. Receiver to either side, Morrow under center, I formation. Hand it to the halfback. That's Robin Nett, and he will spin forward for a gain of 2.
It's a nice pursuit there by the Wolverine defense. That was a play fake to the up back, which is a play that Evanston has run earlier on this drive, so the Wolverines may be looking for it, but it was a give to the deep back, and the Wolverines initially some space there for the deep back, but the Wolverines converging very nicely to give up minimal gain, maybe gain of 2 on that play.
Morrow out of the shotgun. Roberts will get the carry. Roberts is tackled high by a Wolverine defender, and right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 there. In there with the tackle is Eric Prosser.
A couple of real nice defensive run stops back-to-back on 1st and 2nd down as 9 minutes ticks by now. Under 9 to go in the first half. And there's a flag on the far side of the field.
Interesting time for that flag to come out as both teams were huddled up.
Yes.
And there's a sideline warning on Evanston. We've seen a lot of sideline warnings this year throughout the games we've done.
So that's just a warning. Won't have any yardage implication the first time they throw it. So as we were saying, back-to-back run stops by Riverton. You want to keep an eye on Kai Barker here on 3rd down and about 7 yards to go. Find out where 81 is.
2-by-2 the set. Morrow out of the gun sends Kai Barker in motion, who goes to the left side. Fake it to Roberts. Liebricht and Cox giving pursuit. Morrow's going to tuck it and go. He's across the 50 and very close to a first down. Officials spotting him right at the chains. Now they'll say first down, so he needed 7. Morrow got 7 on 3rd down.
They sent Kai in motion there, as you said there, Jared, and they were looking for him across the field the whole way. It was Morrow's apparently his only read on that play, and when that was not there, it was very well covered by Riverton. He took off, and I thought might be able to stop him before Morrow found the sticks, but he just barely, big quarterback for Evanston, found that first down.
Welcome everybody on our YouTube channel audience. Let us know where you're listening from. We'll give you some shout outs as the game goes on. Apologize, we are legally not able to bring you video. Handoff to Roberts, who spins and is tackled by a group of Wolverines at the 45-yard line. Pickup of 3 on first down.
It's kind of fun this game so far because both offenses kind of evenly matched, both with big offensive weapons, both with senior weapons, and all the drives have been long and sustained drives for these teams in scoring and non-scoring situations. 7-6 with 7:30 left to go. The difference, as Jared has said, is a mixed extra point on a bad snap for Evanston. I mean, this is just about what most people expected in the first half of this one.
We have a timeout taken, our first of the ball game.
I think that's an Evanston timeout.
It'll give us an opportunity to check back in at our studio headquarters and an update on the Wind River playoff game with John Gabrielson.
At halftime in the 2 5 o'clock games, Wind River scores 3 times in the final 6 minutes of the first half. They lead Lusk 34-0. Southeast up on Riverside 22-14 at the break.
All right, John. So Wind River Cougars are cruising. The DuBois Rams knock off KC earlier. And the third of 3 Fremont County teams playing right now, the Riverton Wolverines.
Trying to make it third of 3 wins, the way the Wind River Cougars game is going so far anyway. It's going to be a tougher sled here against a really good Evanston team, as we've seen here in the first half. Couple of mistakes, both sides, couple of penalties thrown. Nobody's taken themselves out of the game just yet. There hasn't been that big game-breaking play here yet in the first half. We'll see what this Evanston drive results in, trying to take the lead for the first time.
A 2nd and 7 from the Riverton 45-yard line when both teams are ready to go here out of the timeout. Steve Moore, in his first year at the helm of these Evanston Red Devils, longtime assistant, was a wrestling coach for a while, and I remember making the trip down to Evanston. Everybody talked about how much they really enjoyed Coach Moore. Give it to Roberts on 2nd down. Roberts had a burst of energy, picks up 5, and it'll be a 3rd down and about 2.
Roberts hit that hole real quick. Got right up on the Riverton defense and kept the burst and the speed going, as you said, Jared, and brings up a 3rd down and 2. Probably 4-down territory if it comes to it. We'll see what the Wolverines can do on a tight run situation here.
Morrow out of the gun. Give it to Roberts again. Roberts has got the 1st down and a little bit more. He's all the way across the 35 to the 34-yard line, so pickup of about 5 there for Brady. Roberts, that workhorse in the backfield, 17 carries, 75 yards already.
Wow. Evanston has gotten just enough. They've moved the sticks by just enough. Morrow in the backfield in trouble a couple of times, has escaped pressure just enough. Riverton's almost there. Evanston doing just enough so far to stay in the game.
Cohen in the shotgun again. Give it to who else? Brady Roberts. Roberts pick up 4 or 5 on 1st down. Is tackled Caden Liebricht. And Ryan Cox in there too, I believe.
Nice gain on 1st down for Evanston. 6:13 to go in the 2nd quarter. Evanston driving, long drive here, trying to get back on top of the Wolverines. Trade and jab so far is what it feels like, both these teams.
Drew Barker out to the right side of the formation. 3 receivers bunched up to the left. Give it to Brady Roberts again. Stop me if you've heard that before. Brady is going to get to the 1st down marker, and he's all the way down to the 19-yard line. Brady Roberts just doing work on the ground.
He really is. And, you know, it's not fun to tackle or be tackled when the conditions are this cold. And I think what you might be seeing late in this drive is Roberts and Evanston just wearing down the Riverton defense, who again are on the field for a long drive here in the 2nd quarter.
Drive's going on over 6 minutes now. Roberts again looking for some room off the left side. No real secrets anymore. Just keep handing it off to Roberts, and he'll pick up 4 on 1st down.
Yeah, as long as it works, there's no reason to not keep doing it if you're the Evanston offense. Riverton has done a much better job, I will say, containing Roberts than they did in the first meeting. There are a couple of big first half runs by Roberts in that earlier regular season game.
Barker out to the left side, 3 receivers to the right. fake it to Brady Roberts. Morrow wants to run with it. Now he's got blockers in front. Morrow to the end zone. Touchdown, Red Devils. From 15 yards out, Cohen Morrow has the Evanston faithful on their feet.
Just a little bit of an assignment breakdown, I think, in the Riverton secondary. But Roberts has had all those carries, so maybe you go off of him and try Morrow out of the backfield, and it worked for a mid-range red zone touchdown there for Evanston. Would expect them mathematically here to go for 2. Looks like they're huddling up and will do that to try to make it a 7-point game.
Looks like the offensive personnel still out there. Morrow under center. Roberts, the lone back. Drew Barker way out to the left side. They're going to pitch it to Roberts, who wants to throw back to Morrow. Morrow made a great adjustment to catch it, and he is in for the 2-point conversion with 4:52 to play in the second quarter. The score goes Evanston Red Devils 14, Riverton Wolverines 7.
Well, if that play looks familiar to Wolverine fans, we've run it twice. Riverton has run that halfback kind of throwback. The difference is for Riverton, the halfback is also the backup quarterback, but it's the exact same play design, and it was well executed. As you said, Jared, Morrow doing a nice job on kind of a throw that was behind him to make an adjustment, but it was not a bullet in there, so he had time to make that adjustment. And fooled Riverton. Again, the theme is just enough. Just enough on that drive, and just enough to be up by 7 here with 4:52 to go in the second quarter.
Checking for more 3A scores of interest. Star Valley out in front of Moreland. No surprise there. Third quarter has just begun. Braves lead the Warriors 48-0. Second quarter score, Buffalo's on top of Powell 21-0.
Wow.
Interesting there.
Yeah, let's see if that holds.
And game of interest for both of these teams. Cody leads Douglas in the second quarter 14-0.
We'll see what happens. Wolverine fans right now focused on the game in front of them. Now down 7 points after an opening game scoring drive in which the offense looked like they could do whatever they wanted to. Last offensive drive for the Wolverines had its moments. Big potential haymaker from DeVries to McIntosh. One of the first times I can remember that not working all season long, and it is, for the moment, a 7-point Evanston lead. Still plenty of time, as we've seen end of halves, for the Wolverines to be able to get back in this one.
Jordan Mendez, junior kicker, has it on the tee. Evanston bench has been hyped. I noticed them bouncing around out there trying to keep warm, but also with a lot of energy. They're cheering on their kicker. The kick is corralled by McIntosh. McIntosh will take on a tackler at about the 35-yard line. PA corrects me. That was Ty Sheets there. Ty Sheets comes out of the pile with the football, so it was indeed Ty, and he's tackled at the 35.
It was a nice return, though, by Sheets. Just trying to move his feet and get as much room for his offense as he can up to the 35. We'll see what the Wolverines have up their sleeve here. You have plenty of time. Don't have to be in any kind of hurry here.
DeVries out of the shotgun. Low snap goes to the turf to gather it in, and now he's just going to run with it. Derek's going to manage to pick up 4 or 5 on the broken play.
I really wanted to see what that was going to be because DeVries had 5 receivers to his left. I've seen that once before this season from the Wolverines, but whatever it was, DeVries had that ball snapped to his feet, so he made the smart decision to just hit the hole, hit the line, and get as much back as he could. Actually ends up in a nice 5+ yard carry.
Second down and 5 now from the Wolverine 40-yard line, closing in on 4 minutes to play first half. Again, Evanston on top 14-7. Red Devils took about 6.5 minutes off the clock on that last drive. DeVries is tackled for a loss. Wanted to run to his right, but gets hit in the backfield. Loses about 3 of those 5 yards that he just gained, and it's 3rd and long.
That didn't work at all. 4 receivers to the left of DeVries. They brought Gattenbein, I think it was, in motion to kind of pull block. And the misdirection of all that wide receiver power out to the left, and then DeVries follows Gattenbein to the right, was sniffed out immediately by the Evanston front 3, the 3-4.
3rd and 8 for the Wolverines. Trips to the left, DeVries in the shotgun. DeVries fades to throw, is under pressure, and is sacked, hit for a loss hard That was Cole Robinette who just soared into the play on the blitz.
Didn't see whose assignment that was on the right side, and if it was a blitz, as you say, Jared, there was no help in the backfield, and that's one of the things that DeVries is looking for pre-snap is if pressure is coming, is everybody accounted for? And pretty clear that DeVries didn't see that blitzer as he was lucky to hang on to that ball. He was just blindsided by the left side there.
4th down and 20. Riverton kept their offensive personnel on the field. It's an offside call now.
We're going to see if that remains the case because the Wolverines got what they wanted. I think they got a jump, and that will be a 5-yard offside penalty. And I think you're going to see a timeout here before this 4th down play, if anything else. But I'm not sure that the offense isn't off the field on this 4th down and 15, 16.
From Riverton's own 30-yard line.
The 2:22 and counting in the second quarter.
This is interesting to see transpiring. I don't know if we're getting tricky here, a quick kick situation maybe with DeVries, some punting experience. But
that's what Evanston's expecting, I think.
Now a timeout is being asked for by Coach Lenhart. So maybe trying to drum offsides a second time and seeing if he can pick up some yardage. But I'd be very surprised if Riverton went 4th and 15.
I don't think the game is there yet. The overall feel of this game, forget analytics or anything else, it doesn't feel like you have to go there yet. This drive aside, the offense is moving the ball pretty well. Have 1 touchdown. Should probably have a 2nd touchdown on DeVries to McIntosh on the previous drive. So I would imagine there's a higher strategy here. If they do snap this ball and it's an offensive play, it becomes a very important play in the game that it frankly probably doesn't have to. Of course, if it works, then you're a genius. So, but I agree. I don't think that's worth the risk at this point.
Gage Treber trots onto the field now. Treber will stand in the more conventional punt formation. Robinette. Nope, Drew Barker back. That's 3, not 4. Flag again.
My goodness.
Comes in before Gage can punt it away, and that's a procedure against Riverton.
I might bring back out my lecture here, Jared. We have seen a couple of pre-snap penalties by the Wolverines, and most of those, again, are mental errors or focus errors. This does not help at all. This is going to be great field position anyway, punting from so deep in your own territory. But to back up 5 more yards and add 5 to that obviously doesn't help.
Treber's feet at the 10-yard line. Kai Barker comes back to receive now along with Drew Barker. It's a wobbler that will hit at about the 43-yard line and is down right there. So Evanston in good shape. After the punt, they take over in Wolverine territory at the 43-yard line. 1:56 to play second quarter. Evanston on top, 14-7.
See if you can get your defense to step up and kind of flip the field a little bit here and get your offense the ball back. Offense needs to reboot a little bit after that last drive. Just a lot that went wrong. DeVries have to, I think, clear his head after taking that big shot on the sack. But your defense, if you can find a way to step up, I don't think it's going to be any secret as to what Evanston's going to want to do here. Start on the ground until it doesn't work.
3 receivers getting close to the right side. Barker out to the left side. Roberts in the backfield. Fake it to Roberts. Pitch it to Kai Barker. Barker's got a first down. Cuts inside. Barker to the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Red Devils. Kai Barker on the shovel pass. They fake the handoff to Roberts. Everybody bit on that, and they pitched it to Barker, who goes 43 yards for the touchdown.
That's exactly the way it went down, Jared. Kai Barker coming across the formation. PA announced a flag. I don't see it.
I don't either. I was hopeful.
They're going to wave it off. They're waving off whatever the flag was. Kai Barker coming across the formation underneath, receiving that kind of counter pitch. Questionable, maybe block in the back about halfway down the field on that play, but no flag. Big touchdown for Evanston.
Mendez is on for the point after. High snap is handled nicely by the holder. Mendez kicks it through the uprights. And now with 1:46 to play in the second quarter, the Evanston lead balloons 21-7. Red Devils have scored 21 unanswered, and that drive didn't take long at all. One play, 43 yards, Kai Barker to the end zone.
Obviously looking for your offense to find some kind of an answer here. Now you're approaching this game, not entirely yet, but you're starting to approach this game a little bit differently, in that you want to position yourself at halftime with still 1:46 left to go. Evanston's going to get that opening kickoff in the second half as well, so they're going to have a shot at the ball, to begin the third quarter. So now you're hoping for Riverton to march down the field. They are a good end-to-half offense, including in that last regular season Evanston meeting at the end of the first half, putting together a nice drive down the field that I'm not sure that one resulted in points, but they are able to move the ball. Offense just has to get a bit recapitulated here, I think. I'm not sure if that's the word I'm looking for, but it's
a good word.
That's what it's feeling
I don't know
like.
if I've heard it on a broadcast before, but it's a good word.
I tend to do that. I tend to drop those thesaurus words that you tend not to hear from your Tony Romos of the world.
McIntosh and Sheets back deep to receive. Mendez has it teed up.
Love Tony, by the way. Not that it matters, but love Tony.
More of a Jim Nance guy myself. Nothing against Tony Romo. Mendez will have a short kick that takes a big bounce, fielded by a Wolverine at the 24-yard line. I didn't see who that was as far as the up man, but they did a great job falling on it because that was very close to kind of a sketchy situation that could have resulted in a turnover.
Riverton likes to do this too, and that's a picture-perfect example of what the squib is supposed to do, where you kick it about 20 yards down the field, end over end, and it takes a bounce over somebody. That bounce takes a long time to come down, and if whoever is by the ball doesn't field it perfectly by that time, they have kick cover right on top of them. So the Wolverines, nice job on the return. Fortunate not to have something worse happen there.
See if Riverton's got some 2-minute drill magic that we've seen throughout the year. DeVries to McIntosh, his first reception of the game. McIntosh turns around and gets a first down. He caught it at the 25. The ball come out there at the end. It looked like there was some extracurricular. Either way, McIntosh picks up about 11 as Riverton hustles to the line.
He would have had forward progress anyway, but Nick doing a great job on that slant across the middle. He made that play by turning to the inside right after he caught the ball.
Trio of receivers to DeVries' right. He will just run with it behind Gattenbein and not get far. Evanston defense did a great job. Drew Barker, Kai Barker in there as well.
And the Wolverines are moving with a lot of tempo. They are right back on the ball here on second down.
Brought down by Rick.
Derek in the gun, 2 receivers to either side. Gattenbein with him off DeVries' right side. Inside of a minute to play, ball at the Riverton at 38-yard line. DeVries fades to throw and gets it to Clay Sheets. Clay reels it in and is tackled at the 44. And a stoppage here with a timeout.
That's a great play by Clay Sheets, but he went back inside. I'm not sure he knew where all the defenders were in front of him, because he went back inside where if he would have gone outside, you could have saved a timeout and stopped the clock and just stepped out of bounds. Instead, his reward for going back inside was a timeout by his coach, and he got drilled by a couple of defenders on his inside there.
Want to thank our friends at Perfect Power Electric and Lander, supporting our athletes on and off the field. Give Perfect Power a call today for all your electrical needs. Also, thanks to State Farm agent Tyler Watson, proud Wolverine athletic supporter at State Farm. They're ready to protect your future. Call Tyler today, and Tyler, the Wolverine alumni, says, "Go Big Red."
That's what a lot of people are saying here this evening. If you are watching or listening elsewhere, we miss you. We wish you were here, but your toes will thank you. I can tell you that. It is, I say, bitterly cold, but it is definitely noticeably cold. The lightest of breezes down there on the field, I imagine, cuts that wind chill down about 10 degrees, and It's not going to get warmer anytime soon, so if that's affecting the Wolverines at all in their 2-score deficit, obviously have to find a way to overcome that too, the elements in the second half.
RHS back out there out of the timeout. 47 seconds to play. DeVries wants to run right up the middle off of the first play out of the timeout. Derek's got a first down. Is across midfield to the 43-yard line. Nice pickup on the ground by Derek, and now Riverton going fast to the line. They may beat the chains before they're set. They're going to put the ball down anyway. DeVries throws. It's intercepted. Taken away by Evanston. The Evanston returner stiff arms one and goes all the way to the end zone. A pick six touchdown. That's Cohen Morrow. Morrow, the quarterback, with the pick six. And talk about a first half backbreaker for Riverton there. DeVries throws the interception, and the other quarterback, Cohen Morrow, returns it the whole way.
Yeah, sometimes quarterbacks are pretty good in film, maybe see things differently than the other defensive players do. That might have been something he saw during the week, and that was DeVries with his worst read of the game. Just didn't see Morrow coming across that second level there in front of the secondary playing the linebacker position. Just made a nice defensive read, and the ball DeVries should not have thrown.
Mendez on for the extra point. It is up and through the upright. 32 seconds to play in the second quarter. Score, it goes Evanston 28, Riverton 7. Thought the ball was going to go incomplete when it left Derek's hands there, and it threw it to Cohen Morrow, who got it at about the 45-yard line, maybe a step behind that, and took it just about 55 yards to the end zone.
Yeah, the part of your pre-snap is identifying your first and second read, and then off of that, what are the defenders I need to key on in order to account for them after the snap? And you kind of go back and forth in your progression between the receivers, and then, all right, there's that defender. Is he doing what I thought he would? And if Morrow was identified by DeVries pre-snap, he lost track of him, as it was just pretty simply reading the quarterback's eyes there, quarterback to quarterback, and the quarterback playing linebacker for Evanston just followed DeVries' helmet the entire way, made a nice play on the run. Nice effort by DeVries to try to end the play. There was also a lineman downfield for Riverton who almost made a really remarkable tackle, but stiff arm took care of that, and that's obviously a big touchdown, kind of a backbreaker here. Plenty of football to go, but that's one Riverton wanted to avoid.
Kick on the ground is going to be fielded by Ty Sheets, who is going backward. He's got a lot of ground to make up, and he's not going to get to the 10-yard line. Ty's tackled at the 9 with 25 seconds to play in the half.
Yeah, so 25 seconds left to go and down to just a single timeout. You don't want to sit on this. You certainly don't want to make any mistakes. So that's rule number one. But you do want to kind of knock on the door of the secondary and see if you can find, well, now they're going to, I think, just take a knee in the half. I think I would have taken one shot to try to find McIntosh, but Coach Lenhart may be wise here to just say this is enough of this, and we're going to restart and try things again in the fresh third quarter.
Derek does kneel down as the second quarter clock ticks down, and Riverton, I would say in the last couple of minutes there in the second quarter, Riverton fans kind of stunned by that turn of events. You saw the 43-yard Kai Barker shovel pass where he took it to the house one play after the Riverton punt, and then the pick six by Cohen Morrow. A couple of big-time plays there for Evanston have certainly changed a lot of the momentum in this game.
Yeah, the Wolverines just fell off the table there at the end of the second half. They had things just about under control. I think both teams, you could say, did. Nobody had taken any big risks or made any big dents in the other. That DeVries to McIntosh in the corner of the end zone that was incomplete, that would have been obviously a nice one to have. But as it was, Evanston marched down the field and then took advantage of some nice defense. They basically flipped the field on Riverton entirely in the second quarter and were operating from inside their own territory for pretty much the duration of that frame. But I'll tell you this, I've seen this team too much this year to give up now. We see a couple of people making their way for the exits. I would not be one of them necessarily. This Riverton offense can score just as quickly as anybody else. And, I said in the pregame as key to the game, DeVries making those smart reads. He does learn from those. You see maybe won a game, But then you see him make some of the most incredible throws to Sheets and McIntosh that you'll see in all of 3A. So this team is capable of coming back. I think it starts with the defense, Jared. I think you got to find a way to stop this Evanston ground game, first of all. Get them throwing the ball.
Yep, definitely. And hopefully a lot of these people that look like they're headed to the exits are just going to go warm up in the car for a few minutes and then come right back. So I would take advantage of that if I could. But frigid night here at Wolverine Field continues on. The Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show continues in moments, and we'll break down some first half scoring numbers. We will also look at some playoff scores of interest from around the state here in just a few moments. At the half, it's Evanston 28, Riverton 7. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to the Wolverines on 105.1 Jack FM and County 10's YouTube channel.
To win in sports, you have to adapt your strategy as the game changes. The same is true with investments. Hi, I'm John Shade, your Edward Jones financial advisor, and I can be your financial coach. Give me a call at 335-7722 today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Get ready to explore Wyoming's stunning parks at Fremont Motors during the Open Road Sales Event. We're giving away a complimentary Wyoming State Parks pass with every vehicle sold, so you can get out and explore our beautiful state behind the wheel of a brand new vehicle. Plus, all Fremont vehicles come back by Fremont Care, so you'll be covered no matter what the open road has in store. Visit Fremont Chevrolet GMC in Riverton, or shop online anytime at FremontMotors.com and start your Wyoming adventure today.
How many letters? 5 letters. Just think about, what am I doing right now? Smile. Smile? Uh-huh. This is so easy.
Nobody likes to be stopped by the police, but if I'd seen her texting while driving and given her a ticket, it just might have saved her life.
RE/MAX All-Star Realtors are proud to sponsor sports across Fremont County for the 22-23 season. RE/MAX All-Star Realtors was founded in 1991 with the goal of doing real estate in a way that would make our clients' lives as easy and uninterrupted as possible. They've completed many transactions involving residential, commercial, vacant lots, farm and ranch, and investment properties, and can help you with any goal you might have regarding any of these today. RE/MAX All-Star Realtors, 938 West Main Street, Riverton. See them online at RE/MAXRiverton.com.
Go Big Red! Go Big Red! You know!
You're listening to 3A Playoff Football on 105.1 Jack FM and County10.com.
Welcome you into the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show, thanks to the Wyoming Department of Transportation, reminding you to wear your seatbelt every trip, every time in Wyoming, no matter how far or how short your drive across Wyoming is. Buckle Up for Life Wyoming seatbelts save lives. Kind of a shocker there down the stretch in the second quarter. Evanston on top of the Wolverines, 28-7. And a crowd of kind of perplexed Wolverine fans right now.
I think that's a good way to put it. Meeting expectations for most of that first quarter, I believe. You're obviously looking for your offense to break through. Riverton couldn't find a way to do that until Evanston in the second quarter just took things over. And I agree, Jared. That is not what I was expecting. That was... don't want to say necessarily disastrous, but it does come to mind there in the second quarter as a 7-6 lead in the first quarter has turned into 28-7 Evanston.
Take a look at some first half scoring numbers. Start for the Red Devils. They are, of course, led on the ground by Brady Roberts. 20 carries, 94 yards for Brady Roberts and a rushing touchdown there. Cohen Morrow has carried the ball 4 times for 34 yards. He's thrown the ball 2 of 6 for, let's see here. That's not calculating for me. It must be frozen in the weather. About, you'd think I could add 2 numbers. 58 yards is the total from Cohen Morrow. He's only completed 2 passes, and I couldn't do the math there. So Morrow has thrown 6 times, completed twice, and Evanston still has 28 points on the board. One came from Brady Roberts. Morrow did throw for a touchdown to Kai Barker, if you count the shovel pass, a throw there, and then Morrow has the pick 6 on the defensive side. Kai Barker's been the favorite target. He's got both catches so far for Evanston. For the Wolverines, 140 yards of total offense. Derek DeVries, 7 of 11. Does have the interception, however, and Derek has done the bulk of the carrying on the ground. 12 attempts for 39 yards. Ty Sheets, 1 carry for 11 yards. Blake Gattenbein, 1 carry for 1 yard. Ty's been the favorite target for Derek to throw it to. Sheets has 4 catches for 50 yards. Nick McIntosh, 1 reception for 11 yards. Branson Saltzgaver, 1 catch for 22 yards. Clay Sheets, 1 catch for 6 yards. And I know we keep alluding to the missed opportunity there on the second drive for Riverton. A couple of broken up passes in the end zone. Nick had an opportunity at what would have been a great catch, but couldn't quite corral it. But it's unusual to see a score like this for Riverton, at least at this point in the season. But it's also unusual to see Nick McIntosh just 1 reception.
Yeah, and I wonder, especially on that particular throw to the corner of the end zone, if the temperature didn't play a little bit of a factor in the catch, because Nick McIntosh can make that catch in his sleep, as we've seen all year long. It's just a matter of coming out here and forcing some turnovers for Riverton, and that's something Evanston will do and haven't done yet. Also want to give Evanston credit. I mean, they have tightened things up offensively. Really like how they're getting the ball to Kai Barker in different ways. Morrow's been great. In that first quarter, Morrow was in trouble 2-3 times in the pocket, and they would have been huge 10, 12-yard sacks. If Riverton gets those done, who knows what happens? It's a game of inches. But the way it is, Evanston took over the end of the first half of the second quarter and just rolled for about the last 5 minutes of game time.
I want to give a big thank you to everybody who's tuning in right now on County 10's YouTube channel. Wherever you're tuning in, we thank you for checking out the broadcast. But it's been fun to keep up with these comments on our YouTube channel, and give a couple of big shout-outs here right now to Devin, who's listening in Arizona. Devin says, let's go Ryan and Dane, and big shout out to my buddy Rick, who's listening in Alexandria, Virginia. Rick's been a loyal listener out there in the Washington, D.C. suburbs all season long. So thanks to Rick, thanks to Devin, and thanks to everybody else for commenting. Marion just commented and said, let's go Wolverines, we can make it up. So some optimism there from Wolverine fans, and certainly the way this offense has gone all season long, Riverton can. But I agree with you, Scott. I think it starts defensively. Got to be able to stop Brady Roberts and this high-powered Evanston attack.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Evanston was forced into a punting situation. They faced a couple of fourth downs on one of the drives there. But you have to basically what you've done here is it's not out of the realm of possibility to come back at all. It's 3 touchdowns. With this offense in high school football, it's not the point difference isn't the problem. The margin for error is now down to 0 for the Wolverines, and that starts with the defense making plays against the run. Pretty much anything on the ground that Evanston has wanted to do, whether it's Kai or anybody else, or Morrow on some scrambles, Riverton hasn't had. They've had an answer. They haven't given up but one big run. It's just not enough. They'll give up 5 and 6 when they need to, here in the second half, give up 2 and 3 on those exact same runs. Force a punt on the opening possession, and you need the points right away and just start to climb back in one play, one score at a time.
Take a look at some scores across the state with a lot of playoff activity going on. And let's see here. We'll start with Class 3A scores of interest. At halftime, Cody leads Douglas 21-0. Still reporting a second quarter score is WyoPreps.com from Buffalo and Powell, but a shocker at this point, at least a bit of one, with Buffalo on top of Powell 21-0. No shocker here. Star Valley leads Worland at 55-0. If you haven't heard, that Star Valley team is pretty good.
They're not bad.
Moving on to Fremont County scores of interest. We've told you that DuBois was victorious earlier in the day. They went to KC and won 59-32. We've been able to cover a few DuBois games. Wyatt Barijka went up there to cover the Rams game. So shout out to Wyatt and the DuBois Rams. And it's been a fun run here down the stretch for Coach Tremblay and that amazing 26-year run as a head coach. And they will take on a really tough Little Snake River team next week, but would be really fun to see DuBois pull one more upset and get to state.
I'm kind of curious how deep they can go, yeah. It's going to be one to watch next week, that's for sure.
And then Wind River Cougars' third quarter score on top of Lusk, 48-6. Southeast leads Riverside and won a 9-man at 38-20. So if those scores hold up, Wind River could be hosting Southeast next week from Pavilion in a game we hope to bring you on the County 10 Sports Network. Evanston's on top of Riverton at halftime here from a chilly Wolverine field, 28-7. We'll take one more time out here on the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show. And when we come back, we'll get you ready for the second half of action. You're listening to the Wolverines on 105.1 Jack FM and County10.com.
Central Bank and Trust is a local bank that is focused on technology and convenience. We have a simpler online mortgage application process. You can use your computer or mobile device to upload required documents and sign them online. We have a variety of personal and business banking services. Stop in or visit centralbanktrust.com. We live here. We work here.
Goddard Construction is a local contractor dedicated to our community. We're proud to support our student athletes in every sport on and off the field. We believe in hard work, crafting excellence, and building legacies, one project at a time. We bring your vision to life. Visit GoddardConstruction.com to see what we can create for you. Goddard Construction, building Fremont County, one project at a time.
Central Bank and Trust is a local bank that is focused on technology and convenience. We have a simpler online mortgage application process. You can use your computer or mobile device to upload required documents and sign them online. We have a variety of personal and business banking services. Stop in or visit centralbanktrust.com. We live here. We work here.
The radio home of your 3A East champion Wolverines is 105.1 Jack FM.
We are winding down the Buckle Up for Life Wyoming halftime show. About a minute left on the scoreboard right now. A warm-up time. Wolverines just made their way back out to Riverton High School's Wolverine Field, and now Evanston trotting back out onto the playing surface again. Evanston on top of Riverton at 28-7. The scoring summary in this one, Riverton actually scored first on their first drive of the ball game. Was a 74-yard drive, capped off by a 1-yard Derek DeVries quarterback sneak. That was at the 8:26 mark of the first quarter. Evanston scored on their first possession. Brady Roberts from 2 yards out punched it into the end zone. PAT was no good. Goes 7-6 at that point. Then Cohen Morrow ran it from 15 yards out to put the Red Devils up for the first time. They went for 2 and got it with 4:52 remaining in the second quarter. That put Evanston up 14-7. Then late in the second quarter with 1:56 remaining in the quarter was Kai Barker from 43 yards out for the score. Cohen Morrow had a 55-yard pick six return with 32 seconds to play in the second quarter. So I think kind of the reason it feels so deflating right now is because 3 of those Evanston scores come in the last 5 minutes of the second quarter.
It's just an avalanche is what it felt like, I think, for fans here at the end of the first half that just didn't jive with a very competitive first quarter. Riverton's offense, but for one drive, was moving the ball effectively, not very briskly, but effectively down the field, and got in the end zone the one time. Maybe should have a second time. And after that, just the air came out of the balloon. And it's going to be very interesting to see. I think the rest of this game might be defined by Riverton's defense here, as Evanston will receive the second half kickoff. They need some 3 and out, some maybe a first down and then a punt, a turnover, some way to quickly get the ball back in their offense's hands.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of time left even after this first initial drive possession for Evanston, but feels like there's a lot at stake here on this first possession of the game. If Riverton could get off the field and get some momentum, it would feel great. But if you're Riverton, you don't want to see this Evanston team get another score and go up 35-7. That's an even deeper hole to come back from.
And they can't do it on a 10, 11 play 80-yard drive either. That would just about be a backbreaker for the Wolverines. So get off the field in 2 to 5 plays, one way or the other, and then go from there. Then, the momentum in a game can change quickly, but the math on the scoreboard will not, unless you can find a way to get in the end zone. So Wolverines will do just that, starting with their defense here momentarily.
I want to thank Wyoming 4x4 for being a sponsor all season long. Wishing our Fremont County athletes good luck. Your one-stop shop for all your vehicle upgrade needs, from lifts to bumpers to bedliners. Give Wyoming 4x4 a call. And our friends at Sutherland's in Riverton have what you need for every project. Stop by Sutherland's on North Federal in Riverton, saying good luck, Wolverines. Hunter Saltzgaver will place it on the tee. Riverton will kick it away. Barker goes deep for the Red Devils.
See if we see a squib. Wouldn't suggest an onside in this situation, but something different perhaps than kicking it deep, but we'll see. Maybe trying to establish some field position here too.
Saltzgaver puts one finger in the air, approaches the football, and there is that squib. It'll be fielded by one of the Red Devils on a knee at the 39-yard line, and that is where they will start with the first drive of the second half.
Ball on that squib did bounce off of the up man. You almost got that bounce that you were looking for. Do sacrifice some field position there, but I kind of like that call because you can't give up. Really, you don't want to give up more than 2 or 3 first downs on this drive anyway. So Evanston not starting from as deep as they would if Riverton would have kicked the ball deep. They are starting from their own territory at the 40-yard line.
1st and 10, Red Devils with a 21-point advantage. Hardy Wolverine crowd making some noise already here in the third quarter. Morrow out of the shotgun. Handed to Brady Roberts. Roberts will hesitate in the backfield, bounce it out to the right side. He's got a first down and a lot more. Roberts inside of the Wolverine 40-yard line down to the 39. So we're going to trade their own 39 to the Riverton 39. One play and a big pickup from Roberts.
I think you said it at halftime, Jared. You have to stop Brady Roberts. Kai Barker's not even going to be a factor to stop. If Roberts is picking up 20 yards on the ground, it's not a good sign of the direction of this drive is going for the Wolverines after one play.
Morrow sends 2 receivers out to the far left side, one in the slot. Hand it to Roberts, who goes right side away from those receivers, and he'll pick up a gain of 4 on first down.
Much better pursuit there. Granted, that same play called by Evanston, granted it was to the short side of the field toward their sideline this time around, but the Wolverines were there to make the stop. Create that 2nd and long, make a play here, create that 3rd and long, and go from there. It's one play at a time, and it's cold, and that defense may well be tired out there, but if you're going to climb back in this game and give yourself a shot at all, someone's got to make that special play on every play this drive.
Cohen is in the shotgun again. Roberts in the backfield with him, handed off to Roberts. Is met right at the line of scrimmage and then driven backwards by a pile of Wolverines. That'll get some of the Riverton fans excited again. No gain, maybe a loss of 1.
And that's what we're looking for. 2nd and long turns into 3rd and long. Not sure Evanston's in a mood to go for it, especially if it's 4th and 5 or longer here, so may force them into their first punt of the game. Got to step up and do it again here on 3rd down.
Morrow stands in the shotgun. Drew Barker out to the right side, trips to the left. Morrow throws it to Clayton Cook. A flag comes in. Cook is tackled by DeVries right at the first down marker. I feel like I've said that a lot tonight, where the play ends up right there with the referee standing at the first down marker, but we'll check the flag before anything else.
It's a block below the waist on Evanston. So that will help things out. First down conversion for Evanston will instead be a third and very long. If the Wolverines are going to come back in this game at all, this is the most important play of the game so far for Riverton.
Fourth penalty for Evanston will back it up all the way into their own territory. Ball at the Evanston 48-yard line.
I don't think you can give up a first down off of this sequence and win the football game. It's a bit early to say something like that with 9:58 to go in the third quarter, but the mountain the Wolverines have to climb. They need the ball back quickly, and Evanston has given you their first big mistake of the night.
3rd and 22, they'll say. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. More spread out than we've seen Evanston before. They will throw a screen pass to Roberts, who corrals it in. Roberts across the 40-yard line and will power to about the 39, where they will be knocked out of bounds. There is an injured Evanston player on the field in some pain.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Hopefully he's all right. Back to the third down play. 3rd and a mile. Shouldn't be a surprise to see a screen. That's one of the things you can do, or draw. One of the things you can do to get at least a chunk of it back, and Evanston got more than a chunk back. Because it was 3rd and so long, it will bring up 4th down and 9 coming up. We'll see after Evanston takes care of the injury on the far sideline. Right now, player still down in the white jersey. Now Riverton's trainer going all the way across the field to lend a hand if necessary as well. But out of the injury, it will be decision time for Evanston, and potentially a big 4th down chance for the Riverton defense.
Injury timeout with 9:30 to play in the third quarter. Again, Evanston on top of Riverton 28-7. The injured player appears to have moved to a sitting position, which is a good step in the right direction. Now will be helped to his feet.
Hopefully he's all right. Any injury does not feel better in this weather. I can vouch for that. So hopefully it's nothing serious and just something more superficial. So let's see what Evanston, out of a makeshift injury timeout, comes out with. Their showing offense on 4th and 9.
Injured player was Taryn Hawes, a 6-foot junior. Evanston going forward on 4th and 9. As Scott mentioned, trips to the left side. Morrow backing way up across the 50. Pass intended for Kai Barker out of his hands and incomplete. So Riverton holds, turnover on down, and that's just what Riverton needed to get the ball back with 9:26 to play in the quarter.
The way Morrow was dropping back there, as you said, Jared, I think that was a screenplay, but it also didn't look like the offensive line construction of a screenplay. And you had a receiver out there in the flat. That was a very strange looking screen. Might have been kind of a fake the screen look and drag somebody across. But anyway, Morrow's throw high off his back foot, and the Wolverines got what they needed. They got a stop after nominal yardage with plenty of time. 9:26 to go in the third.
Derrick will start up the Riverton offense out of the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. That's Talon Tillman. Now Derrick's going to run with it. He's got a seam up the middle, and he'll pick up 5 on first down.
There's nothing wrong with that. You want to be in a little bit of a tempo mood here. You don't have to go no huddle, certainly, but so much of the timing of the rest of this game is going to be dependent on the end of this drive. If the Wolverines are able to cut it to 2, then you can basically reset to your regular offense. But you need to find the end zone here, obviously, if you possibly can. That's a nice first down run by DeVries, though. Gain of 6, it looks like.
Second down and 4. Ball at the 44-yard line. 2 receivers out to the right side. Tight end on the left. 2 in the backfield. Derrick will fake the handoff to Gattenbein. Bootleg out as a receiver. It's caught by Larson for a first down. DeVries to Jackson Larson across midfield.
It's a beautiful play fake by DeVries, putting the ball in his pocket and carrying out the play fake as though he had just given it off. And then you had Larson coming across the play. Very simple concepts like that you like to see, and when you can stack up those first downs on plays like that, tends to get your offensive line back in rhythm. When plays are on time, it helps your offensive linemen out a lot. And DeVries, after throwing a pick six in the first half, is also looking to find some rhythm, I'm sure, back there too.
Derek is going to go under center this time. Fake the pitch, misdirection, handed off to Ty Sheets, and Ty is smothered in the backfield. No gain there.
That was just read pretty well. That was that counter under handoff where you fake a pitch to the deep back and hand it to Sheets coming across, and that was pretty well read. Sheets did have a tackle broken there, but by that point the timing of the play was thrown off enough where Evanston could get some help there. Results in a nominal gain, if any. In fact, I think you'd say 2nd and 10 coming up.
Two receivers to either side. DeVries in the shotgun. 2nd and 10 for the Wolverines. Derek looks back at his coaching staff. Now we'll clap the hands again, start up the play. Dances around in the pocket. Now we'll leave the pocket. Threw it for a receiver. I didn't see anything, but a couple of Riverton fans clapped their hands. It was out of my vision because it was right in front of the Wolverine bench, but it was caught.
That was wild. So Jackson Larson is covered as DeVries is rolling to his right. DeVries throws it basically. He's trying to throw it at Larson's feet, it looked like. Not a good decision because it bounced off of a defender up into the air, and Jackson Larson came up with the reception off of the deflection off of the defender.
3rd down and 2 now. Derek has two receivers out to the left side, one to the right. Gattenbein in the backfield. Derek wants to throw. Looks to the far left side, overshoots his intended target. I think that's Nick McIntosh he wanted, but it falls incomplete.
I don't mind taking a shot there, but that's just beautiful coverage downfield. Nick McIntosh and the throwing angle, kind of the throwing lane to the receiver where the ball has to go up and over the defender was very difficult for DeVries to drop that. And he actually probably erred on the side of wisdom there and throwing it just a little bit too far for McIntosh. If he can catch up to it, great, and if not, nothing bad's going to happen other than bringing up 4th down and a long 2 here for the Wolverines. Obviously need this one.
Yeah, big play for both teams. 3 receivers to the left side of the Riverton formation, and Coach Lenhart asks for a timeout. So they'll talk over 4th and 2 with 6:35 to play first.
I've seen Coach Lenhart being really quick to take a look at a formation and use a timeout if necessary. Those timeouts are arguably more valuable in the second half, especially when you're down by 3 scores. I'll say that if this play results in a first down and this drive results in a touchdown, I don't mind the use of the timeout. It becomes a little less important down 2 scores than 3. And this is a play you have to get right. And you've got to get the first down here. So Lenhart taking a look at the defensive front for Evanston and dialing something up on the near sideline.
Riverton held Evanston on 4th down on their first drive of the 3rd quarter. Turnover on downs. They got the ball at their own 38 with 9:26 to play in the quarter and are facing a 4th down and 2 for Riverton. This is as big of a play as we've seen so far in this game. Want to keep this drive going and not give it right back to the Red Devils. Only so many opportunities here in the second half.
Chess match here. We'll see if Evanston came out in the same personnel package and the same formation, and we'll see how Riverton chose to counter it during the timeout.
Derek under center now. Will pitch it to Sheets. Reverse. Can't tell who's got it on the reverse, but I think they've got a first down. That's Nick McIntosh. McIntosh is knocked out of bounds, but not before he picks up 3 or 4 for the first down.
So this is a risky play because you like McIntosh having the ball any way you can get the ball to him, but the structure of that reverse, the way the play was designed, took Nick about 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and this is a 4th down and 2 where you want to be going obviously forward, and you may not have a whole lot of time as the play develops, but great blocking on the Riverton right side after the reverse, including by DeVries, and Nick doing a nice job getting downhill and finishing the play.
Derek moves away from the shotgun. Direct snap was to Ty Sheets. Sheets gave it to Gattenbein, who throws it forward. Incomplete. Cole Robinette was there, giving a lot of pressure.
Should be a flag on DeVries.
Gattenbein's pass falls incomplete.
Hit a lineman. An ineligible player was the first to touch the ball.
Third down.
DeVries was in a lot of trouble there and just kind of threw it toward a black jersey. Don't think that black jersey was eligible.
Officials got together. They will not throw a flag, so...
All right, I'll take it.
2nd down and 10 coming up from the 34-yard line. 6:22 to play, third quarter. Again, for our Jack FM audience, Evanston on top of Riverton 28-7. You can see the scoreboard if you're watching along on County 10's YouTube channel.
Can't say mathematically must get in the end zone, but they really need to find a way to get a first down here, a couple more if necessary, and find 7 points.
Gun set for the Wolverines. Derek's got good protection, looking for McIntosh in the end zone. Can't get it to him. Overshoots him and was pretty well covered, too.
Yeah, you have to give credit to Evanston in the secondary. Nick McIntosh is probably the big deep ball threat for Riverton. You can tell they've taken a look at his performance against them in the regular season, and I'm sure some other games as well, and found a way to mix up coverages a little bit. Looks like they're in the secondary, more of a zone look there. I think you saw DeVries have some trouble with that against Worland last week. And those corners are not letting Nick McIntosh get behind him. This is frankly the first time I've seen step-for-step single coverage on Nick McIntosh all year.
3rd and 10, 3 to the right side. Tillman will come in motion for the Wolverines. DeVries faked like he was going to throw. Now we'll tuck it and go, and he's going to pick up 5 on the ground on the left side, but it's going to bring up another 4th down.
This is going to be about a 4th and 4. DeVries doing a nice job to evade the initial pressure to his left. Could have been 4th and 10 coming up here, but he was patient. Some nifty footwork there in the backfield. Got as much as he could, but 4th and longer this time around, about 4th and 5.
DeVries and Gattenbein come in after DeVries went to chat with Coach Lenhart. Clock ticking with 5.5 remaining, third quarter. Another big play for the Wolverines from the Evanston 29-yard line, 4th and 5. Derek under center, 2 in the backfield. Will pitch it to Gattenbein. Blake wants to throw under pressure. Gattenbein to the end zone. It's caught! No, incomplete. Boy, that's just out of the hands of Nick McIntosh. I thought he had it. Still didn't see it come away when he hit the ground, but the official comes in and says incomplete.
Oh, second one of those, and this is going to be a harder reception for Nick to make. Gattenbein had to wait, I think, a little bit longer than he wanted to for that play for the coverage to clear up a little bit. And it was there, but it was right over the shoulder. Over-the-shoulder baseball outfielder catch almost for Nick McIntosh, and he dropped the one in the first half that was probably an easier catch. Still would have been difficult. That was a more challenging catch, and yet we know that Nick can make those, and so that's a disappointing end to the 4th down there. Evanston with the ball back.
5:15 to play. Evanston ball at their own 29-yard line. Good job on the snap there. That was almost out of the grasp of Morrow, able to handle it well. Morrow's just going to try to run for it. Takes a hard hit, but a gain of 2 on the quarterback keeper.
Don't want to lose your technique and start tackling the football, but you do want to be looking for opportunities for turnovers if you're the Riverton defense. If you do have a teammate who has Morrow wrapped up on that play, held up a little bit, go after that ball. Some risks you might not take otherwise, but you need some special things to happen to try to get back in this game at this point.
Get an update from John Gabrielson here shortly when River game has gone final. Morrow's in the shotgun. Give it to Roberts. Roberts is met by Gattenbein first, and a couple other Wolverines crashed in. Pickup of 3 for Brady on his 24th carry of the night.
Will be a 3rd down coming up here for Evanston.
3rd and 4.
4 yards. And one play at a time here. If you can get a 3 and out, obviously that's the goal for Riverton. Evanston wants to drive this all the way to the end zone and not score until it's the fourth quarter, with 4 minutes even and rolling in the third.
Morrow in the gun. Kai Barker, left side slot. And Brady Roberts in the backfield. Kai's going to come in motion now. Morrow wants to throw. It's complete for a first down. Clayton Cook's first reception of the game comes at a nice time for Evanston fans. Morrow to Clayton Cook, and a first down gives Evanston the opportunity to chew up some more third quarter clock.
Just a slant over the middle there, it looked like, and Cook did a nice job after the catch because he didn't catch that cleanly. He kind of pinned that up against his body, and he had a defender right on top of him, but he was able to secure it in time to move the chains and not fumble.
Cohen under center, 2 in the backfield for the Red Devils. They'll pitch it to Brady. Brady's going to be driven down behind the line of scrimmage by Nathan Mills. Loss of 1 for Brady Roberts.
So few mistakes by Evanston in this game. You got to give them a lot of credit. They've come a long way from early in the season when we saw them at Evanston. They had committed, I think, a combined 28 or 30 penalties in the previous 2 games to that Riverton game and turned the ball over a couple of times. No turnovers so far for Evanston, and the penalties have been much more minimal.
I formation again for Evanston in the backfield. Hand it to the halfback. That's Brady Roberts, and another nice job by the Riverton defenders as Roberts picks up 1. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Red Devils.
That's how it's been all night, where Riverton, 4 plays in a sequence, the defense has 2 great plays in them. And the remaining 2 plays on first down or second down or first down and fourth down, whatever the case might be, remaining 2 plays have been just good enough for Evanston to move the change just very methodically. So here we are again with Riverton forcing Evanston into a 3rd and 10.
Morrow in the gun. Rolls to his right. It's well protected. Now looking for Drew Barker. Drew tried to come back to catch it. Incomplete.
Great coverage down the field. Trying to see who that was. In single coverage, that was Ty Sheets, who was alone by himself and got his head turned around, got his body in a great position to make a play on the ball, force the incompletion. Brings up 4th down. Would imagine you would see a punt from Evanston here.
Kai Barker, the punter, will put his heels at the 35-yard line, and we anticipate him kicking it away here in a second. High snap handled nicely by Kai, nearly blocked, gets a good punt away. It's fielded by McIntosh at his own 30-yard line.
That's Nick's best catch of the night, frankly, because he made a fair catch and had to come up 7 yards to make it. He ended up sliding to the ground as he was catching that ball, and there was a punt cover player for Evanston right there, but great job by Nick to hang on to it. There's no chance Riverton gets that ball back if he dropped it.
There's a penalty marker down on the punt that I missed.
It was declined, so I believe it would have been against Evanston. I didn't see the indication either, Jared.
I heard the PA, I believe, say holding, so they'll decline it and just take it at the 30-yard line. So still an opportunity for Riverton to get back in this game, but as the clock continues on here late 3rd quarter, you'd think this is another big opportunity for Riverton to do something quick. DeVries will check it down to Gattenbein. Blake will get a first down. He keeps ducking and weaving. He's across midfield and all the way down to the 43-yard line.
So Blake Gattenbein's a sophomore, and he's grown a lot this year, I think. Just on that last play, this is a little check down to Blake from DeVries. Blake Gattenbein has some room to his right. He's got a big hole, but he knows his blocking scheme is to his left. So if he goes right, he may get 5, 7, 10 more yards. But with help from his friends down the field and going where the play was designed to go, against his own instincts, seeing big wide open space to his right, he turns a medium gain into a big play for the Wolverines.
1st and 10 for the Cardinal Red and Black. Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Derek stands in the shotgun, fires to McIntosh, who's met immediately. Short pickup for McIntosh.
Nice job by Nick just to hang on to that ball. Hopefully that's the kind of play that gets McIntosh in rhythm, too. I'm sure he is in his head about those 2 drops in the end zone. The second one would have been just a great catch. First one was a difficult catch as well, but he is used to coming down with those balls.
Clock inside of 45 seconds to play. Third quarter, 2nd and 8. DeVries designed run will keep it. Keeps the pile moving forward as he nears the first down marker. Pick up a 7.
Joined by Wyatt Barichka to my right, Jared. We have a visitor. Wyatt calling the DuBois game earlier for County 10. Big guy sat down right next to me. I'm like, who's this? It is Wyatt joining us for the end of this one. Hopefully he brings some good luck here.
They gave DeVries a first down there. It looked like he was stopped about a yard short, but they reassessed where they put the football down. Derek finds Ty Sheets. Sheets has it complete for a pickup of 9, maybe 10, and real close to another first down. DeVries to Sheets.
Only 5 seconds left, but if Riverton could get back on the ball and run the play before the end of the corner, it would be beneficial to them, but they're going to let it expire. So 28-17, but the Wolverines are knocking on the door. It's either going to be a disappointing fourth quarter or something kind of wild coming up here at the end of this drive.
They gave Ty a first down, so it'll be 1st and 10 when we come back. Come on back with us for the final 12 minutes of this one. It's Evanston 28, Riverton 7. Back with more Wolverine football on 105.1 Jack FM and County10.com.
Mountain View Supply, your local experts in fire and water. We've got everything you need for new installs to accessories, and don't forget our great selection of stoves, grills, and spas. We've been serving Wyoming for over 40 years, so you know you can trust us for quality products and expert service. Visit portersmbs.com or stop by our Riverton or Casper locations today. Porter's Mountain View Supply, located on 750 East Sunset Drive in Riverton.
The Tyler Watson State Farm Agency is a proud supporter of Riverton High School Wolverine athletics. We understand the importance of community, and we're excited to be a part of it. As your neighbor, we're here to help you with all your insurance needs. We offer auto, homeowners, renters, business, and life insurance. So stop in and say hi, or give us a call today. The Tyler Watson State Farm Agency will be here for you.
I'm a mean Wolverine! I'm a mean Wolverine! I'm a mean Wolverine! I'm a mean Wolverine!
And now, more Riverton playoff football. Back to Jared and Scott from Wolverine Field.
Fourth quarter just about to begin. Riverton 1st and 10 from the Evanston 21-yard line, trailing by 21. DeVries is on the run with it. Pushed out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. Near another 10-yard pickup. We've gone 3 in a row right at the first down marker, and I think DeVries might be... Nope, I was going to say he might be just a little bit short, but he does get a first down.
DeVries taking one step back and then designed run to his left. Good lane, good blocking downfield. But for a moment, he might open that up to the end zone. But the Wolverines will take a first down and stopping the clock.
Riverton can pick up a first down inside of the 2-yard line. 3 receivers to the left side. Derek out of the shotgun sends Talon Tillman in motion. Usually he likes to run behind Talon when that happens, and he kind of went the other direction, is hit for a loss of about 3 yards in the backfield.
Anytime the Wolverines have challenged the left side, their right side of Evanston's defense with just one lead blocker, especially if it's a specialty offensive guy, if it's a receiver, running back, it has not gone at all well on that left side.
2nd down and 13 facing Riverton. Still trying to get you that update from John Gabrielson at some point. I'll work him in. Appreciate John's patience. Derek in the gun. Fade to throw, looking Ty Sheets' direction in the end zone. It's in and out of the hands of Ty Sheets. Kai Barker there with great coverage, and Kai is very fired up, to say the least.
Celebrating after what was good coverage. Waited for the ball to get there before making contact with the receiver. And Wolverine fans probably won't like seeing it, but that was good coverage not textbook good coverage. You're still kind of allowing the receiver to catch the ball, but the body contact afterwards from Kai was enough to jostle the ball loose, incomplete.
3rd down and 13 now facing Riverton from the 14-yard line. Again, they can pick up a 1st down just inside of the 2. Empty backfield for Derek. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Everyone turns and looks to their coaching staff. Now the play comes in, and a whistle will stop play. Riverton takes their 2nd time out of the half.
That one you wanted to keep for potentially later in the game. Wolverines able to get in the end zone here, and maybe defense gets the ball back quickly. It's a 1-score game, but by that time we're going to be late in the 4th quarter, and you would want all the timeouts you have. But
gives us a chance to check in with John Gabrielson in the studio. John.
They have gone final at Leroy Center Field in Pavilion. Wind River rolls into the semifinals, knocking off Niobrara County 68-6. And that wild score you mentioned from Buffalo Powell earlier, Jared, Bison widening the lead. They are mid-3rd right now, 28-0. Favor of the Buffalo Bison. Powell, however, is in the red zone. Back to you guys.
Wow.
All right, John, thank you. How about
that?
The Buffalo Bison tonight?
Yeah, obviously a team that we're familiar with, having Riverton having upset them right here a couple of weeks ago. This is why I say in a conference like 3A in high school football, you can't go by common opponent. You just... You try to do the math on that, and the world won't make sense to you anymore. But, yeah, Buffalo came to play against Powell tonight. Powell's been kind of a tough team for me to figure out exactly where they're at in 3A all season, too.
Back on the field out of the timeout. Riverton's got it 3rd down and 13. Derek stands in the shotgun. 3 receivers out to his left side. We'll look for Ty Sheets. He's got it inside of the 5. Ty is pushed out of bounds right before the 2-yard line. I think he's going to be about a foot shy of a 1st down. And we'll see exactly where they put the ball down, but I think it's going to be 4th and short for Riverton coming up.
Does look like that, Jared. Couple yards. Looks like 4th and 2. They can get the 1st down at about the 1-yard line. But, you treat this like a 4th and goal? I assume you have to. I guess you could, some substitution late personnel confusion now for Riverton, too, upcoming on this 4th down play.
4th down and a long 1 from the 3-yard line. DeVries in the shotgun, power formation for Riverton. Pitch it back to Gattenbein. Gattenbein wants to throw to DeVries. It's intercepted. Flag comes in, and it's Cohen Morrow again who is going to take it the entire length of the field for a touchdown. There is a marker on the field. Cohen Morrow would have his pick 6 if this is against Riverton.
I think maybe some contact. You might call it pass interference, depending on when the ball was thrown. This is that quarterback-to-quarterback throwback that the Wolverines have run a couple of times this year. Morrow was all over that. I'm not sure who the contact was. It didn't look like it was against Morrow. But they are bringing everybody back, all the way 100 yards back down the field. So this is going to be a penalty against Evanston, and that should give Riverton a 1st down and goal, more importantly.
Be the 6th flag now on the Red Devils, and that may be the biggest one of the game in favor of Riverton.
See what the call is. Yeah, Morrow saw that coming a mile away.
Brady Roberts is body language unhappy with one of the officials. Pass interference on Evanston. So
it's half the distance, and it's going to remain 4th down.
4th and a couple of inches from the 2-yard line. Derek out of the shotgun. DeVries just going to run with it this time. DeVries is going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage. It all depends on the spot, but I don't know if he got there.
I don't think he did.
The official right away going to say he didn't get there. It's a turnover on downs
the left side of the Evanston defensive line has been a brick wall. That's the Riverton right side, and it just hasn't been there all day. You didn't need almost anything on that 4th and inches. Move the ball at all. Half the football length would have gotten you the first down. But the right side of Riverton's offense, that left side of the Evanston defensive line it just hasn't been there. And that's where Riverton tried to go on 4th down. That's a huge turnover on downs with 10:40 to go in this game.
Red Devil football at the 3-yard line, and you want points on those last 2 drives. You come up empty for Riverton in time.
Evanston's got to get out of the shadow of their own goal line, though.
Brady Roberts will try to do that, and will do just that. He's across the 10-yard line and continues to push the Riverton defensive backs forward all the way out to the 22-yard line. Pickup of 19 by Brady on the first play of the drive.
Brady Roberts has been a Rubik's Cube for the Riverton Wolverine defense. Front 4, second-level linebackers have not been able to stop him consistently. There have been some nice stops against Brady, 0, 1, 2-yard gains. But then he'll pop a 5 or 6, and that was a substantial gain of 22 on that play.
High formation for the Red Devils. 1st and 10, receiver to either side. Morrow will give it to Brady again. Actually, that's Cole Robinette.
Rich, the ball carrier.
Nope, let me try for a 3rd time. That is a Brecken Rich who was in the game. So Brecken Rich with his first carry.
Just under 10 minutes to go in this game. 3-score, 3-touchdown advantage for Evanston. Trying to milk this down as much as they can, obviously, and it would take a turnover in the next few plays, I think, for the Wolverines to have a shot at coming back now.
High formation again. Brecken Rich and Brady Roberts. This time the handoff is to Brady, left side, big hole, and Brady's got a first down out across the 35, tripped up at about the 37.
You have to give credit to the offensive lineman for Evanston, too. Creating these lanes. The run game just has been there all night. If you can't stop the run, especially against a team like Evanston, you're not going to be able to catch up very easily. And Riverton's offense fell in that hole. The defense hasn't been able to stop Evanston so far, and that's been the story of the game.
1st and 10 from the Evanston 37-yard line. We're under 9 minutes to play now. Give it back to Brady Roberts. Ryan Cox is there with Talon Tillman, and a pickup of 1 that time. Much better stop from Brady on his 29th carry of the night.
I liked your conversation with Talon before the game, the pregame show. Derek DeVries, a couple of seniors who have been recognized outside of their own team for their efforts, but a couple of senior leaders trying to find a way to somehow prevent playing their last high school football game here tonight.
Evanston in no hurry, would expect him to keep it on the ground again. Give it to Brady Roberts. Is met right at the line of scrimmage. May have pushed the pile forward for a yard or 2, but Wolverines doing a better job the last couple of times. It'll bring up 3rd and about 7.
As Jared mentioned, Evanston taking their time, milking the play clock down as far as they can, as they should. Taking their time getting personnel in. And 3rd down and 7 coming up. Evanston still on their own side of midfield. But the ball position and the score even not the factor right now. It's the clock ticking down. Evanston with the ball and a 3-touchdown cushion.
See if Evanston throws here or opts to take a little more time off the clock. First, there's a timeout. Coach Steve Moore wants to talk it over. First timeout of the second half. And I will get set up here, hopefully, for another quick update. We go to the studio, and John Gabrielson.
Possibly shaping up to be a wild last 12 minutes in Buffalo. The Bison had scored again, got up 35-0. Powell then scores on a long touchdown pass, gets the onside kick, scores again, lining up for another onside kick right before the 4th in Buffalo.
All right, fun, wild one there that John's going to
35-0. You figure you're in a pretty good spot, and you're up 35-0, and all of a sudden John's like, oh, "Hang on, wow!" So 35-14, and onside kick number 2 pending.
Yeah, I thought he was pulling our legs there for a second. Could be a wild finish. They go up 35-0. What? That's what makes sports, especially at this level, a lot of times a whole lot of fun. Would love to see something dramatic happen here in favor of Riverton, but they've got a lot of work to do. They trail Evanston 28-7. Red Devils looking at a 3rd and 7. Out of the timeout, they'll send 3 receivers to the left side, both Barkers and Cook. Roberts in the backfield. Pass across the middle of the field is complete for a first down. Cohen Morrow hung in and delivered under some pressure, and it's complete to Kai Barker. Haven't seen a lot of Kai this game like we did when we went to Evanston, but Kai Barker had a good time there with the reception.
Well, I hate to say it, but they haven't needed him. They've used him in the run game a little bit, but they haven't been able to stop the prototypical ground game for Evanston. The Riverton defense hasn't. So Kai Barker has made an impact on this game, but he hasn't had to step up, and they haven't had to find ways to get too creative with him just because of the way the game's gone.
Roberts in the backfield. Morrow out of the shotgun. We'll just hand it to Brady. Breckenridge actually takes the carry, and Rich is going to be wrapped up after picking up maybe one. Brecken's second carry of the game, and most important thing right now is 6.5 minutes remaining. Riverton with a 3-score deficit.
I love the heart here. It's not looking good for the Wolverines, but you got guys up front still making those plays, but that's the way it's been. 2 out of 4 plays have been there. 0 yards, stop in the backfield, and then you let 1 or 2 of those just 2 long runs sneak through, and that's all Evanston's needed.
Receivers again spread out to the left side, but they're going to hand the ball off to Brady Roberts. Roberts has a lot of room left side, cut it back up the middle. Roberts first down and some more. He's tackled at the Wolverine at 31-yard line. They'll move the chains. We've got 6 minutes to play, and Riverton trailing 28-7.
Points here from Evanston would just about ice the hopes of even the most optimistic Wolverine fan, I think, at this point. Allowing as much time as possible to come off the clock, and 3 touchdowns up on the scoreboard.
Cohen Morrow, senior quarterback, in the gun. The football goes on the turf for a second. Riverton swarms him under. Ryan Cox and Zarek Prosser in there. They'll go backwards about 7 yards on second down.
The Wolverines needed that opportunity to jump on a ball in the backfield in the first half. Might have been the medicine they needed at the end of the second quarter there to get things back on track. But that is about 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. That's when the wheels seemed to fall off, as Evanston was able to take a 7-6 deficit, turn it into the score we have right now. All that action took place at the end of the first half.
Morrow fading to throw. He's got Drew Barker wide open, but Barker kind of got crossed up which direction he was going, looking above his head for the football, and it falls incomplete.
That was Morrow's fault. Morrow throws that ball where it needs to be, lead his receiver into the end zone. That's the easiest touchdown they'll score all year. Morrow, I think, got some pressure in his pocket and just chucked it. Ended up going behind his receiver, still almost converted for a big play for Evanston.
Be 3rd and long again. 3rd down and 16. Morrow in the gun, 3 receivers, 2 to the right side. He'll check it down to Kai Barker, who's on the move. Barker catches it and will slip out of a tackle all the way down to about the 25-yard line, tackled inbounds.
Morrow's pass is complete to Barker.
Kai was one of our keys to the game, and they haven't had to use him as much. Evanston hasn't, but when he has touched the ball, either as a receiver or in the run scheme as a running back, he has been just as effective as we've seen him the previous meeting. He is a dangerous player for Evanston.
confused on what down it was. It was 3rd down and long. They put 2nd down now on the scoreboard. Now they'll flip it to 4th down. So 4th down and about 6. Morrow looking for Barker. It's incomplete. And Riverton holds on 4th down with 4:16 to play. So the Wolverine offense will sprint back out on the field.
Well, this is looking like it might be the end of your season. So empty the playbook. Go out there and call some of those plays you haven't put on film, you haven't shown because you didn't want other teams to see them on film. If you have any of those left in the bag of tricks, you may as well right here.
Football at the 25-yard line of Riverton. 4:16 to play. And bearing a miracle with 3 or 4 scores late here could be the final moments of some of these Wolverine seniors playing on Wolverine Field. Aired out to Ty Sheets in the flat. Ty is going to be tackled by 3 or 4 Red Devils after he picks up 8.
Wolverine showing some hustle back to the line of scrimmage here. I don't know, Jared. Apparently onside kicks are in the air out there tonight, so you never know. Score quick here.
2nd down and 2. Gattenbein will receive a pass for a short gain, but good enough for a 1st down. DeVries to Gattenbein for 4 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I'd like to see, I'm sure Evanston has his keyed on, but you'd like to see Nick freed up one more time for a chance to catch a couple of those balls he didn't have a chance to come down with in the end zone. Obviously, at some point, if you're going to make something happen here quick, Nick might be the shortest route to that, but there are a bunch of guys, 2, 3, 4 guys who could catch that ball as well.
Derek, 15-22 unofficially, 174 yards, does have the interception, has not thrown a touchdown, but has rushed for Riverton's only touchdown. Pass complete to Sheets in the flats, tackled nicely by Cohen Morrow. Cohen not only is the quarterback for Evanston, but he's also the defensive point leader, and he's had a big impact here with a pick 6 and another nice tackle there.
He's a really smart player. I mean, he's got great instinct in a linebacker. Has that pick 6, as you mentioned, Jared. Just seems to know exactly where he's supposed to be on the second level there in passing situations, and he's made an impact on this game, to put it lightly, on both sides of the ball.
Whistles blow. They will wind the play clock.
3:14 on that clock here in the 4th quarter and counting.
Derek in the gun, trips to the left. One receiver way out to the right side. Derek rolling to his left under a lot of pressure, is hit by Cole Robinette in the backfield and dropped for a loss of 3. Derek sacked, and Riverton going backwards that time.
Wolverines didn't have the protection for long enough to allow a big play downfield to develop. They were trying to develop things in the passing scheme there about 20, 30 yards down the field, and Derek had to scramble to make some time, and then eventually was enveloped by the rush. Really didn't have a whole lot of time, and that play had no chance.
3rd and 12. DeVries from the gun has McIntosh right along the sideline, and good enough for a 1st down. Pick up a 14 on the throw. DeVries to McIntosh. Wolverines move the sticks.
Yeah, DeVries is throwing this from the place he threw it on the field, about his own 29, all the way on a rope to the 48-yard line and across the near side, too, between the hash and the sideline. That's a beautifully timed throw.
2-by-2 the set. Derek fades to throw again, wants McIntosh out of his grasp. Low throw, incomplete.
They follow that up with about a 6-yard throw at the feet of McIntosh. Kind of inconsistency that has been, I mean, early in the season, that was Riverton's problem as well on both sides of the ball. They largely cleaned that up. And the inconsistency on both sides of the ball is back here in this one. Obviously, we're at the tail end of a losing game on a very cold night. But still a lot of seniors out there for both teams, but for Riverton especially, who want to savor this moment and end it positively if they can.
Wolverines were hoping for their first postseason win since 2014. Right now, the Red Devils on the verge of their first playoff win since 2007. DeVries dances around in the shotgun. Now is going to tuck it and go. Derek's going to pick up a first down, it looks like. A rush of 10 yards and is into Red Devil territory.
Will give him the first down, which stops the clock at 2:06 until they spot the ball and wind it.
Couple of the Evanston defensive backs willing the clock operator to start the clock a little bit early. Want it to keep ticking down.
Really like what Evanston has done in this game. I give them a lot of credit. They were kind of a sloppy team when we saw them. Too many penalties. They had just nothing but talent, but they were making too many mistakes, and a lot of that has been ironed out. I can see why a lot of people who watch 3A are talking about this team on the rise.
Coach Steve Moore in his first year, snap to DeVries, lose the handle. He will pick it back up, but is going to lose a yard. Actually, Derek fought to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think it'll be no gain after the fumble.
Derek trying with everything he has left in him to get back to the line of scrimmage. Did a nice job off the coming up with the ball after the center quarterback exchange went on the ground. Kind of been that kind of night for the Wolverines offense, especially since the end of the first or the end of the second quarter. First quarter, totally different football game than the third quarter ended up being. It just seemed to switch on a dime. Something in the air changed. About 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Inside of a minute left, likely in the Wolverine season. DeVries out of the shotgun. Wants Saltzgaver. It's complete. Branson is leveled by Kai Barker.
You got to throw a flag on that hit.
He will get right back up, though, and DeVries to Saltzgaver, who's down at the 13-yard line. Luckily, Branson's okay, too, after that big hit.
Yeah, defender, it doesn't matter if it's helmet to helmet. If you make contact in the shoulder pad area on a defenseless receiver, you're supposed to see a flag on that in high school. I've seen hits like that called in college and occasionally the NFL. I don't know how Branson hung on to that ball, like you said, Jared. That was a beautiful route and a beautiful throw, 25 yards down the field by DeVries as well.
Big-time effort there from Branson. There is an injured player away from that collision that is down, however.
It was unrelated to the big hit in the center of the field that's on the far sideline. I think it's an Evanston player down.
Already sparse crowd continues to file out here at Wolverine Field on a very frigid night. We were below freezing at kickoff. Game time temperature right at about 29 degrees. We're in the low 20s now. That was Kai Barker that delivered the hit that came up a little bit sore.
Stretching out his shoulder, it looked like. Somebody that Evanston's going to want to keep healthy for the winner of the Douglas-Cody game.
Cody fans certainly probably rooting for Evanston with home field advantage on the line there, but this may not be an Evanston team you want to see either. DeVries fake the handoff, looking to the end zone. It's overthrown. Wanted Nick McIntosh, but it goes incomplete with 29 seconds to play now.
And a second down coming up. Would love to see Derek DeVries find a passing touchdown. Nick McIntosh should be a cherry on top, senior to senior connection here on this last game that they're going to play. And they have been a special combination to watch all year. Derek DeVries, not perfect tonight, pick six, but a lot of fun to watch him this year.
Two receivers to either side. DeVries out of the shotgun, fades to throw under a little bit of pressure, darts around, and will get back to the line of scrimmage. Ball may have came out. Evanston jumping up and down, and it will be a fumble recovered by the Red Devils with 19 seconds to go. And we are a kneel down away from the Riverton season coming to a conclusion.
Disappointing all around, disappointing end of the drive, disappointing end of the first half, disappointing end of the game, and disappointing end to the season for Coach Mark Lenhart, who I hope will be able to part ways with and talk one more time in the post-game show. We'll see what his obligations to his team are after the game. But as we said just before kickoff, No matter what happens here tonight, it's a successful season for the Riverton Wolverines. They have accomplished much, hosting a playoff game, and this is not how you want to see the season come to an end. But the season comes to an end for every team but one, and Riverton is well on their way to a positive trajectory with some big wins, and a lot to hang their head high about, I think, after the conclusion of this year.
Cohen Morrow took one final knee, and there the clock expires on the Wolverine season. Final score, Evanston 28, Riverton 7, and the first Red Devil playoff win since 2007. Coach Steve Moore in his first year getting it done. And moving on to the semifinals, a date with Cody looks likely for them next week. We'll run down some playoff updates for you here in just a little bit. Check in with John Gabrielson one more time in our Bailey Tire and Auto post-game show. And like Scott said, we hope to be joined by the head coach of the Wolverines, Mark Lenhart, who's been very gracious with his time all season long, not only after games, but meeting me at practices and coming up to chat with me before games. So we'll hopefully get the coach on one more time here. Bailey Tire and Auto post-game show is on the way. Final score on the Fremont Chevrolet scoreboard, Evanston 28, Riverton 7. We'll take a quick break and get into the post-game show. After this, you've been listening to Wolverine Football on 105.1 Jack FM and County10.com.
Mountain View Supply, your local experts in fire and water. We've got everything you need for new installs to accessories, and don't forget our great selection of stoves, grills, and spas. We've been serving Wyoming for over 40 years, so you know you can trust us for quality products and expert service. Visit portersmbs.com or stop by our Riverton or Casper locations today. Porter's Mountain View Supply, located on 750 East Sunset Drive in Riverton.
The Tyler Watson State Farm Agency is a proud supporter of Riverton High School Wolverine athletics. We understand the importance of community, and we're excited to be a part of it. As your neighbor, we're here to help you with all your insurance needs. We offer auto, homeowners, renters, business, and life insurance. So stop in and say hi or give us a call today. The Tyler Watson State Farm Agency will be here for you.
Make your home improvement projects a breeze with Sutherland's, your home improvement experts. Always the right products at the right price for every project, every day. You can shop and pay online at Sutherlands.com, and we'll get it ready for easy in-store pickup. With the tools and the know-how, you can count on Sutherlands for any job. With over 30,000 items in stock, make your first stop at Sutherland's Home Improvement in Casper and Riverton.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws? Because in real life, you don't get a second chance.
Welcome you into the Bailey Tire and Auto post-game show one final time this football season from Wolverine Field. Final score, Evanston 28, Riverton 7. Red Devil fans, students who made the trip up here 4.5 hours across Wyoming, getting to celebrate on the field now with their team. And a great story for Evanston. Unfortunately, it comes against our Riverton Wolverines, Scott, that we've had the pleasure of covering all year long. But both of these teams were very likable coming into it, and Evanston, a great story this year.
Yeah, they're going places, I believe, despite the effort or the outcome, and Coach might tell you the effort by the Wolverines here tonight. I think Riverton's in that trajectory as well. But Evanston showed up, and they proved it. They did what was required, made fewer mistakes, just got enough accomplished with what they wanted to do to go out early and then pile on at the end of the first half. That last 5 minutes of the first half was basically the game. That's the way it ended up.
Yeah, looking at the scoring summary, it was just a slew of points there. at the last 5 minutes, with Riverton scoring first on their first possession of the ball game. Derek DeVries punched it in from the 1 yard line after a 74-yard drive. Touchdown came at the 8:26 mark of the first quarter. Evanston would answer on their first possession. Brady Roberts ultimately capping off a 68-yard drive with a 2-yard run. PAT was no good there, making it 7-6. In the second quarter, Cohen Morrow ran from 15 yards out. The 2-point conversion try was good there, and with 4:52 remaining in the second quarter on a drive that took almost 7 minutes total, Morrow kept it into the end zone. A 2-point conversion made it 14-7. With 1:56 to play in the second quarter, Kai Barker caught a 43-yard pass to make it 21-7. And then with 1:45 to play, they would get it right back on a Cohen Morrow pick six that went 55 yards. So all the scoring in the first half. The final 5 minutes of the second quarter at 3 touchdowns from Evanston would just prove to be the difference.
Defense is what you need. Most teams, as the old cliche goes, defense wins championships. And I think defense was going to be the key for Riverton to advance past this game. And it wasn't a colossal failure defensively. It was just 2 out of the 4 plays in the series, or 7 of the 10 plays in a drive. They had Evanston contained, just not consistently enough in that run game to flip the field, and then eventually Evanston pounced and took advantage of all the points they would need at the end of the first half, and that ended up being difference in the game. It wasn't a blowout like the scoreboard would indicate. It was just one that Riverton lost control of after the first quarter, and they never got that feel for the game back.
Again, this is the Bailey Tire and Auto postgame show. We'll run down some playoff scores, but first, let's check back in. I think we've got another Buffalo update from John Gabrielson in the studio.
Things just keep getting wilder in Buffalo. The Bison got up 35-0. Powell scores, gets an onside kick, scores again. Onside kick unsuccessful. They get the ball back, score again. 35-21. The Bison cough it up at midfield. Powell driving. We're under 7 minutes left to play. Buffalo clinging to a 14-point lead right now, late in that ball game.
Wow. Thank you, John.
Wild one there for sure. And if you're a casual fan, you may want to scan around and catch the end of that one just for some fun football.
35-0 that game was.
Yeah.
Now a 2-touchdown game.
Other scores of interest here in 1A 6-man. Wyatt Barijka, who is with us here at Wolverine Field, went to KC earlier today and watched the Du Bois Rams knock off the KC Buckaroos 59-32. Their opponent is Little Snake River. Little Snake knocked off Hewlett 74-20. So David Tremblay, the Du Bois Rams, will head to Baggs next weekend for a shot at headed to the state championship game in the semifinals there. Also, congratulations to the Wind River Cougars. They just piled it on there against Lusk. 68-6 final score. Was a running clock in the fourth quarter. Their opponent next week in Pavilion is Southeast. The Cyclones knock off Riverside 50-20. So Wind River and Southeast coming up next weekend, and a game we'll have for you along the County 10 Sports Network. Other 3A scores of interest quickly. Star Valley shuts out Worland at 62-0 in Afton. As John just alluded to, a wild one going on with Buffalo and Powell. And then final score, Cody has knocked off Douglas 42-14. So the Bronx will get home field advantage next week with Evanston coming in to take on Cody High School. Finally, 4A scores of interest. It was Sheridan all over Kelly Walsh 59-0 in the Gillette battle. Thunder Basin knocked off Campbell County 26-12, and Natrona leads Cheyenne Central in the fourth quarter 14-3. Cheyenne East up big on Rock Springs in the fourth quarter 42-7. Looks like a lengthy post-game chat with Coach Lenhart and his kids. Always emotional on the final game of the season. you don't have practice on Monday and you get to clean out your locker, and it's just it's a tough way to end it, but a really fun season and a lot of highlights.
Yeah, and you feel for the seniors who will have played their last high school football game here tonight, but I think Derek DeVries gave proper kudos to the coaching staff, all the coaching staff, and the way you have to look at it is you made much more out of the year than anybody expected you to, and that would include the players as well. Heading into a brand new system, starting camp, you have to learn all of this, get to know your coaches as the coaches get to know the players, and you end up hosting a playoff game. So this is a successful season for the Riverton Wolverines. Those seniors are going to be able to get a send-off on a high note relative to the rest of their high school career here as Wolverines. So you never want to see it come to an end, especially at home, especially in the playoffs, but there can only be one standing at the end of the day. Everybody but one's going to lose eventually. And the Wolverines accomplished a lot. There is a lot to build on that started this year for the Wolverines to look forward to and fans to look forward to for next season.
Yeah, a lot of highlights, especially in conference play there. I think back to the Rollins homecoming win, first win on the season, felt good after that. Riverton goes to Lander and knocks off their rivals. And then even the Douglas matchup where you lose, there were a lot of positives to take away from that game. I don't think it got much better and bigger than the Buffalo win here with a very fired up crowd. And you felt for sure like Riverton was the underdog coming into that game, and knocking off Buffalo was a statement win, and then of course getting it done against Worland on senior night here. So just a lot of memories and fun to look back on, and a team that exceeded expectations under Coach Lenhart's first year.
I think he set a good base. I think he's got the building blocks in place. He's going to be shorter talent-wise and numbers-wise than he wants to be for a couple of years, because he's going to want to get the younger kids, talking about 5th, 6th, 7th graders, into the system, and then get those sophomores and juniors they currently have weightlifting year-round. It's not just a football thing, and working on your football game, even as you play other sports, which is great and only helps your football game usually. But it's a year-round commitment for only really a 2-month regular season. But getting that system going, getting the funnel going upwards, is a lot easier said than done. And that, I think, big picture, long-term, is what Coach Lenhart's going to want to do. So, yeah, you get the Buffalo game, you get the home playoff win, or the home playoff game that you host, even though it's a loss. But I think you have to start looking down the road and just improve on this season a little bit next year. Get as many of those younger kids out at the lower levels in Pee Wee and all the way up to middle school as you possibly can, and just try to create one of those dynastic programs in the state of Wyoming. And it's going to take some time, but this was a great start this year.
And you see Coach Lenhart making his way towards us, so hopefully we'll ask him a couple of quick questions and then be able to wrap it up here. We've also got to select our player of the game here, made possible by Tyler Watson from State Farm Insurance. And it's just been so hard to do this all season long, because in wins there are so many deserving candidates, and losses at times you struggle to find a guy. But football's such a team sport, it's hard to pick a player of the game every time, and you want to spread the love around a little bit to some of these kids. I've got a couple of seniors in mind of giving some recognition to. I don't know if you want to do the honors of picking the player of the game, but
if you can think of one that we have not awarded yet, that would be ideal for me too. I like that idea. If I were to give one just based on this one game alone, I think it'd be Sheets. I think it'd be Ty Sheets. I know we've given it to him before, I believe, earlier this season too. So gonna leave the play-by-play guy with the executive decision, but Sheets had a great game on both sides of the ball here today.
I agree with you that Ty probably put up about the best numbers for any Wolverine offensively, especially. But we haven't given it to guys like Ryan Cox, who I thought made a lot of great plays today. Nathan Mills doesn't give a lot of credits from his center position, but he's always battling, and Nathan Mills is another deserving candidate. I thought Zarek Prosser had a nice job from his defensive line spot as well. So that I'll just give a trio of Tyler Watson State Farm players of the game, and I'm sure Tyler would be just fine with that.
I think he would be fine with that.
The entire senior class, and I think we got just about everybody on our players of the game this year, part of that senior group.
Yeah, we really did try to stagger it throughout the year and spread the wealth, and generally succeeded, I think, but there were a couple of standout players on this team. I'm going to miss watching Derek DeVries play quarterback next year. Nick McIntosh is a special receiver at the 3A level. So some of those guys who had such a great connection this year too are going to be tough to see go. But that's high school football. Who are the juniors who are going to step up and be those guys next year?
I think, Scott, I'll look to you for guidance here, but it is very chilly, and we need to start packing down. So we're a few minutes away from being able to grab Coach Lenhart. So I think with your permission, what we'll do is I'll go chat with Coach Lenhart, put that up onto the County 10 Sports podcast, and if you are interested in his post-game thoughts, you can check it out there. But I think it's time for us to say goodnight.
I'm not going to argue with that, Jared. I think that works.
My teeth continue to chatter, so we're going to pack down and say goodnight. Once again, just a huge thank you to everybody who has tuned in to Wolverine broadcasts all season long. You've made it a lot of fun for Scott and I, so thanks to you for watching along. Wyatt Barijka, thanks to you as well for setting us all up and your guidance as County 10 Sports Director. Scott, it's been great working with you all season, and man, I'm already looking forward to hopefully doing it all over again next year.
It's been a lot of fun every Friday night, keeping me kind of connected to high school football, and this team was so much fun to watch. If you're going to pick a Riverton team to jump in on my first year, this was the right one. So thank you to you, Jared, for having me, Wyatt, for all your support, and we will look forward to next season. It will be here before you know it.
Definitely one more shout out to our guy Jason Peterson, who traveled a lot of different spots with us and ran the camera when we were able to show games. So thanks to Jason Peterson. Thanks to you at home and on your radios listening to us. We appreciate you all season long. Once again, the final score: Evanston 28, Riverton 7. We're going to send you back now to 105.1 Jack FM. And for those of you on the County 10 Sports Network, we will say good night.